kitchen.
No,
You
no.
know, items, refrigerator.
You're going all the way back.
Starting something that has something.
Firefox said it updated too, so maybe.
But I can't say names until we get our.
Firefox didn't sell the updates now.
Everything that we agreed to.
You just sign
Yeah,
this.
that's we just put out of there.
This is from
Peace
Brian.
waters, like, you know,
Oh.
just
No, when you're ready, Richard.
just some random stuff like that, but.
Did there's somebody? Of course, that's what, I think that was another copy. I said, oh yeah, we're not gonna continue doing that. I know it was on this, but it hadn't cleared yet. Okay. So we had it cleared, so I.
Okay, okay.
We're not gonna do that. No.
There's the apartment downstairs already. It's there, it just needs to be put back together.
It should keep the same
They
date.
had pipe freeze. And it was damaged. They collected insurance money first
Thank you.
and didn't do anything to put it back together, so it's like.
I didn't want to.
Once you get that one back.
All right, good evening, everybody. I'll call the meeting to order at 6 o'clock. Start with the pledge of allegiance and a invocation. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Dear Lord and Heavenly Father, we thank you for bringing us safe here tonight. We hope that everybody who has attempted to get here tonight is safe. Lord, we ask for your hand of healing on those that were injured in that massive pile up downstate and those that are inland here as well. It's been so brutal. Lord, be with us tonight. Watch over us. Grant us wisdom in the things that we discuss. And Lord, get us all home safe. All these things we ask in Jesus' name. Amen. All right. I've got one modification to the agenda. I have board of review alternate to appoint, so just adding that at the end. That's it. So I make a motion that we amend the agenda to add a board of review alternate appointment.
Support.
Sports.
I'm wondering if there's any reason to add, I don't see it here, RFP for the, planning consultant? Are we not doing that tonight? Do we have anything?
No, I don't have anything. I've had 3 responses, but I don't have anything to share, so we can do it next month.
Okay.
Sorry, I heard, yeah, that's it.
I missed that too.
Anything else?
I gave them to the end of January to respond, and I did
Okay.
reach out again to.
All right, good.
It's recording but not streaming. I don't know what's
Some
wrong with
glitch.
it. I wish I did, but it's recording.
All right, any other amendments?
Who made the motion?
Me.
And then
Richard
supports.
supports. All in favor, say aye. Aye, opposed, same. All right, then make a motion to approve the agenda as amended.
Support.
Our support, any further discussion? All in favor, say aye. Opposed, same. All right. I'll open it up for public comment. Please, keep it to 3 minutes.
Sure. Let me start. Everyone knows me. Just, want to touch base on a couple things that were on your agenda tonight, even with the update I just got from Julie, so. Because of started as a watchdog for our citizens that have difficult time attending the board meetings and as a tool for us to use on our mission to preserve our zoning. Since its creation, we've been ridiculed, laughed at, harassed, and even threatened by many of the same people that have been viewing our platform. The board that has been less receptive to the thought of live streaming has all admitted they've used it for their own gains. Live stream was never intended for the gotcha moment that I believe the board was worried about the public seeing. This is a nonpartisan platform for everyone, not just this side or that. We've been thanked and encouraged to keep up the good work by so many people, just to be torn down by others for doing no more than providing facts. While I encourage the board to enter the new era of how modern government is being run with emphasis on transparency, take some of these facts into account. Our YouTube channel has 70 subscribers. It's had 4,414 views. That's over 832 hours of viewing. 3,718 of those were live views as we're streaming, with 699 videos being watched after streaming, going back, references, whatnot. I know you'd like to have people come instead of sitting in the comfort of their own homes. I've been begging for participation for a long time. However, these numbers show a large involvement from our citizens, and I believe it's the way of the future and how people are engaging. Please consider taking this up as part of the township's responsibility. There's a one-time purchase of proper equipment, low monthly subscriptions through Zoom, Teams, and similar platforms. As you weigh the cost, think about drive time fees for the attorneys, planning consultants, etc. These cost savings are built into the new era business, options that would benefit everyone in the community. And then on the RFPs for the mowing, I assumed it was everything Parks and Rec, so, excuse me for that, but, I know why they're asked. I have no problem with getting, comps to see if we're in line. Just a quick history of what brings us here. You know, for many years, the Van Dark family cared for our parks and cemeteries, till recently when Judy, crew, and equipment started to age out. At that time, the board looked into cost of a new truck, mowers, trimmers, equipment, etc., and costs associated with it, just alone, was tens of thousands. Then we added wages, taxes, insurance, and unemployment, and it was a no-brainer. The board decided to take quotes for the maintenance through several applications. We decided on Brian Dara. Brian came on board with the same passion that Judy and her crew had for years, taking the job very personal and with the respect these sacred grounds deserve. He has also put in the extra effort outside of his scope of work, dealing with the abuse of our outhouses, right? And the little odd and ends that he felt would enhance the properties, much of the time with little or no extra cost. So as you put out review for possible applications, which doesn't sound like you're doing, please take into consideration what Brian, a local taxpayer of 20 plus years, has done for our community, his properties. Thank you.
Thanks, Dave. Patty?
Just a reminder that the review period is still open for the master plan, and, they're still taking comments. Comment routing is listed on the, page for the, township, and we have had one comment. So, I would hope to see more comments during this peak engagement time that we have, people who are saying they want change, and so we would love to have more comments before we have our public hearing on February 10th. That's all I have.
Thank you. Any other public comment? All right, hearing none, I'll close that period. Let's go on to the approval of the minutes. Last month.
I'd like to look at item 17, repeal of zoning.
Okay.
The new ad hoc committee on zoning.
Mhm.
As I recall, I don't think that the board was in favor of moving forward with this. That's not really conveyed there, it just says we had discussion. It says that members of the public, planning commission, and Banks Township board would be on the committee. And township attorney advised the residents to read the master plan. I thought we were not in favor of moving forward with that. I didn't think we were entertaining.
I don't think this says we are moving forward.
It just
Yeah,
doesn't state that.
we can add something to the end and no vote
Yeah,
was taken, if
I do.
that would help.
That's something.
What do you want it to say?
That the board decided to not pursue it, that the consensus was that it was not a legal entity.
I would just say no vote was, no motion was made. I think that's more accurate. I think there are, I for one still think that's not a bad idea, but it wasn't
Also-
worth it to make a motion.
Well, it kind of segues into the planning commission when we had a board member talk about this as if it was a done deal and if it was gonna happen, so maybe you guys wanna address that, you and Julie.
I
We
talked to
did.
Julie after the meeting, and we mentioned how it was the feeling of the board that there was no interest in doing that, and that people should come to the planning commission to have this done. And we just mentioned that we didn't do anything on that last night, because it was the next day. And, we just mentioned who might have been a good fit, that's all. It
Yeah,
was
because
never.
it did cause a little confusion, like we were revisiting or it was gonna happen.
Nope.
It did create some sort of confusion and
None at all.
everything.
I agree, let's just put in there, no motion and no vote was taken.
There you go.
Okay.
Does that work for you, Kate?
Yeah,
That
that's
clarify?
fine. Yeah.
All right. Anything else?
Move we approve?
Support. Motion and support, any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, same. All right, Jairus?
At our last county commissioner meeting, we held a public hearing on the Antrim County Parks and Recreation Plan, and made a few small changes, nothing real substantial from what had been presented to the public. It's still online. Most of them were typos, so they're making those changes, and it will be, if it's not ready, it'll be published in the next week, so.
Is that survey still on?
Nope, the survey is closed now, I believe. Yeah, that's done. We have, Carl Beestra, who does most of the work at the North area, has been working on trimming, hemlock branches. Preparing some of them for burning in the spring probably. Cake Sisma, which is the Charlevoix, Antrim, Kalkaska, Emmett County Invasive Species Management arm has been evaluating that, and they're also looking along the shore further up. They believe that it seems like it's following the shore, and they think that there could be some places in Charlevoix County where the adelgids are getting into the hemlocks also. Other than that, it's January, so a lot of the boards are having their first meetings. The Commission on Aging Advisory Board is this week. The Economic Development, the Antrim County Economic Development Committee and the Brownfield Redevelopment Committee meeting are this week. And Thursday is the first meeting for the Antrim Creek Natural Area Commission.
That's here, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yep,
In
Banks
South
Township,
Bend?
yep.
Okay.
Yeah, there's no heat in the schoolhouse, so it's getting cold out there.
Make your meeting short, wouldn't it?
I have a question for you. I saw something in the newsletter about the special assessment district. What's the progress on the special assessment district for?
Yeah, so there's,
levels?
4 counties involved. Kalkaska has signed on to, appoint our drain commissioner as their, a special assessment person also. Grand Traverse County looks like they're going to sign on. They're supposed to be having a meeting in 2 weeks, I think. And Charlevoix County said, we don't think we're gonna sign on until we know what the special assessment is. We have a lot of taxpayers that wanna know how much special assessment we're going to pay, and it kind of feels like we might be signing on to something that, I mean, if it's $100, that's one thing, but if it's $1,000, that's something totally different, so. They really wanna see numbers before they sign on. I don't think they're opposed to signing on, but, they wanna see more numbers, so. That's all I really know about the, 4 counties.
Curious, can you give us a little update on what you guys are doing on the public safety center?
Oh, yeah, lots of meetings. Yeah, the sheriff and the jail administrator and the county administrator and, Abin Marsh, which is kind of the project jail building company. They've had several meetings in the past few weeks, and, just trying to get numbers and also a timeline. Also Plant Moran, which the commissioners hired to do an overall look at our facilities that we have now and what we would need in the future. Their, report is supposed to be wrapped up by the end of next month, so, yeah, they're looking at everything from intake where inmates come in, to prosecutor, to mental health, and so it's gonna be a pretty book, it sounds like, and also some cost estimates on what they think. Our blueprint shows and what they think we should have, so. Yeah, a lot of meetings taking place and just trying to organize, some construction for hopefully to begin this summer.
So are you real comfortable with the process, how it's going, that you think you guys are really doing the due diligence to make sure we have the right numbers and the right plan?
Our board chairman and our administrator have both made it very clear that we are going to stay within the $27 million, which is what the taxpayers authorized, and we're not going to exceed that, so, that's positive. Whether the emergency, there's a whole bunch of different moving parts, but whether the emergency, one of the questions is whether the emergency manager should have an office in the new public safety center, or if he should just remain in the county building where he is now. Really, he could go either way, and the 911 dispatch center, whether they should stay where they are, or whether they, I mean, the reality is if they're in the same building, it doesn't really matter a whole lot, because they aren't gonna get up and walk down the hall to tell somebody that there's an emergency call on Atwood Road. They're gonna get on the radio or their cell phone or their active 911 app on their computer and dispatch people to go check it out, so.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Jairus.
Yep.
All right, you guys got the numbers for the sheriff's report, it's in the packet. Treasurer, what's that?
There's 2 reports in there for the sheriffs, there's
This
the
is the
December
annual,
and then
yeah.
the annual.
Yep. 759 events. in the township. Lots of party rights. What you got? All right, Kate?
No.
Oh, okay. Treasurer's report?
You should have all gotten a copy of the receipts.
Mhm.
It's a pretty good month. A lot of the winter taxes coming in, so the road money's coming in, fire. We got $11,000 came in from Rotary Charities. That's going to help defray the cost, if not cover it, for the 5-year rec plan
Mhm.
with Beckett and Rader. So that's something that has to be done every 5 years. And it basically outlines the goals that we have for recreation. And it is needed by the village and the township for any grant applications. So it's not just a guidebook, it's actually a tool that is necessary anytime we apply for a grant. So we've got 11,000 for that came in, revenue sharing from the state, American Tower, interest,
Are you gonna
not a
do,
whole lot else.
are you gonna do the record keeping for the grant money? What does that mean?
No, never had.
Okay. Just so I know.
I think it's a in and out, is this a flat fee from Beckett and Raiders?
Yeah,
It'll just
it
be
is.
an even check for 11 grand. and
Yeah.
That should be it.
Okay.
We'll wash it right through one of these.
We already have the
accounts
money,
and-
we already have the cash, so.
Yeah, we got the
yeah.
cash in, it's just a matter of cutting
Of
on the
paying
check.
Beckett and Rader, there won't be, maybe some, fees for newspaper, but that would be a check to them, yeah.
Okay.
How about the bills, is there anything in the bills out of the ordinary this month that we need to be aware of?
No, I pay, UHY is on there for filing taxes with the state, feds, and SSA. Everyone's got their W-2s and they were mailed out. Besides that. And then when we look at the budget, we have to look at the, for snow plowing. We have to move some money to cover that.
Okay.
And then all the stuff for Runix is basically like he just kinda adds up all his expenses for the fire department and put it in one.
Yeah, he gave me an invoice.
Okay, so the snow plowing, is that for 1 month?
2.
2 months, $2,200.
Mm-hmm. It was November and December.
And then the Vector Solutions, that's the fire department's
Yeah.
online training portal. Is that, do we know if that's being used? Is that
I don't
for its
know.
continuing ed?
I can't
We
can't
need
answer
to
that.
ask a question for Mark.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
yeah,
okay.
and he's stuck in Grand Rapids with the traffic.
Oh, okay.
Real slow drive back up.
The elevator service, the fee that's on there for that, it ended up being an issue with the door not shutting properly.
Oh.
So I think we should look at becoming an elevator repairman, cause he
Yeah.
wasn't here for that long to make $1,200.
Expensive certification to get.
$110 mileage.
So, nope, nothing.
Okay. Make a motion, oh, you probably are gonna do that, right?
You can, because actually, if we're cutting, signing the bills, probably somebody
Yeah,
else should make the
make a motion to pay the
yeah.
bills as presented.
Support?
Richard supports, okay. All right, any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same. Okay. The zoning administrator reports in the planning commission report, and so he's not here tonight. Richard, you got anything for the planning commission?
Yes, a couple things. We have our annual report to this board has been drafted, and Beckett and Rader is finalizing it for planning commission to review again, and then it'll come to this board. Two major issues that we worked on at the last meeting were the two-family dwellings. Changes to the zoning ordinance about that, we discussed it further, and it's being reworked some more by the planner, no decision. Front setbacks were discussed, and we set a public hearing at the same date as the one for the master plan. We wanna have a public hearing on that setbacks issue on February 10th. So, that's about it.
Wonderful, thanks. Mark didn't give me much,
I got one more thing
Oh,
on
yeah,
the
go ahead.
planning
Say it.
commission. We've heard a lot of public hearing on deleting the zoning ordinance. And my evaluation was that we've heard about somewhere around half each way. But through it, I've heard a lot of comments, I think a majority that wanna put it on the ballot, and we've been talking about that. And if I recall, when Richard made the motion was that he wanted to put it on the ballot. And when Julie voted in favor of deletion, she also said this would put it on the ballot. I admit, at the time, I was not in favor of putting it on the ballot. I thought we could make the decision, but hearing all of the public comment and all the people that want to do that from both sides, I would like to ask our attorney to draft the petition language and write the petitions so that we can present that to both sides. Both groups of people want to put it on the ballot. As Julie indicated last month, I think it was, that to end the hate, and this is a policy issue, and I think there's so many people involved in this issue that it's beyond the board's, it's beyond our responsibility to make that decision. I think the people need to make that decision. And I don't think that it's right for us to require one side, in this case, the ones that wanna keep zoning, to have to pay an attorney $1,000 or whatever it costs them to write up that petition language, and then be liable in case that attorney gets the wrong T crossed and the I dotted the wrong place, and somebody challenges it. I think it's the intent of this board, I hope anyway, that we want our people to decide this issue. So I would like to make the motion that we ask our attorney to write the language of the petition and print the petitions and have them available to us at the next meeting to hand out to both sides. And obviously then Julie would have to sure the signatures are valid, validate the signatures, and if there's enough signatures, or if there isn't, if it looks like there's gonna be, whenever that point would come, then there's no question for us as a board as to whether it's gonna go on the ballot or not through another vote. It's not, we don't have to pick sides. We can, we can do what the people want.
You
Okay?
want a response, Mark?
Well, he made a motion.
You made a motion, we
Yeah.
can't discuss it yet? Yeah,
Yeah.
well, and
So-
my understanding with the attorney, that we don't have the right to put, and she called it provisional items on the ballot, that we can't put that on the ballot. The only way it goes on the ballot is it's repealed, which we've talked about. However, she also conveyed to me that, and I thought she said in the meeting, she can't represent the township board and then jump into the audience and represent the public. Because she can't do that every time, or they can't do that every time they disagree with what we say. She would be jumping back and forth all the time. So in theory, it's a great idea, but in practicality and legality, I don't think it's a possibility. That was my understanding. She
Yeah, I
did
mean, I
say
know
she-
you'd be on board with it, cause you had that idea 2 months ago, I think, I don't know.
Yeah,
And
I think it's a shame too, that people who are in favor of keeping what they've had for 50 years have to spend their own money out of their own pockets to fight to get back what they had for 50 years. Yeah, it is a tragedy, yeah.
So-
Oh, go ahead, Mark.
So yeah, my attorney said that it's fully possible to do that. Our attorney, that was here answered Katie's question in such a way that I work for the board. This would then be a board decision, and she would work for the board. That wouldn't be working for either side in the audience. It would be working for the board. Because we heard from both groups that they wanna put it on the ballot. And so it would definitely be legal, and if we wanna make the motion to say if it's legal, then, make a contingency on it, that would be fine, but, it would be a board decision. And she's working for the board.
Well, I agree wholeheartedly that it should definitely go to a vote, whatever it takes to do that. But I also was my understanding that the only way, and that's why I made the motion the way I did, the only way that could happen was for the board to repeal it. So I don't know, so,
Yeah, that's still the case.
That's accurate, Richard.
okay, so we still would have to come to the point of repealing, but you're proposing that we take this step so that that's already in place.
Yeah, so then if or when we vote to repeal, we know, matter of fact, it is on the ballot.
You couldn't do that, though, that would not work. You can't have the petitions circulate before the vote actually occurs.
Oh, yes, you can, absolutely, that's what my attorney said, you absolutely can do that, and he even recommended it.
Okay, well, I'm gonna tell you the other thing, you mentioned this to me on the phone, and, so I did call Catherine, because I too, Katie, recall her mentioning that we couldn't do that. So I said, hey, just remind me, make sure I'm square here, and her response was, that would be an unlawful expenditure, because you would be spending money, the township's money, to immediately go against your own decision. That was her opinion on the spot. We can ask them to do a further legal review of it if we would like, but that's what she told me this afternoon, so. I don't think it's a great idea from the standard you're setting, but I understand why we would wanna do that as a board. I hesitate to set precedents on things, and look down the road at what that might look like, so. The next thing, that some ordinance that isn't, is a 50-50 deal, are we gonna do this on every single one? I don't know, that's just setting a precedent. Not that I want anybody to have to spend money out of their own pocket, but it's just.
So
But
how did you present that?
I asked
You
her,
said it was
I
an
asked,
unlawful expenditure because,
I asked, the question that I asked was, the request is from, well, Katie has asked about it, and you, about, drawing up the petition language and the, and going through that whole process and handling that, paying for it with the board and on behalf of the people who want to keep zoning. That was the question, can we do that? Can we hire you guys to do this work? And she said, no, that would be an unlawful expenditure. She's gonna ask her legal partners about it. So, if you would like to add that to the motion, that's fine. That, you know, following a legal review, now I would say we do have another meeting in February, before we even have our public hearing on this issue. So, it's up to you, whatever you wanna do. You made the motion, so. All yours.
so based on what she said, and talking to her, how do you think I could craft this motion? So you mean ask for a legal review of the,
Yeah, you could say
If it-
pending legal review. You know, I move that pending legal review, we, instruct or get a quote. Maybe we wanna get a quote first to find out how much this is gonna cost, I don't know. But wherever you wanna put that. Pending legal review, I move that we, hire our attorneys to develop the petition and the, what's the word, the thing you gotta do the first
Petition
day.
Letter of intent.
Letter of intent, thank you, to, that we wanna file a petition. That would be paid for by the township. Something like that.
all right, I would add that to my motion, pending, legal review.
Say the motion again.
I move that we ask our attorney to draft the language for a petition and print the petitions and present them to our February board meeting so we can hand them out. And wherever we put in there pending legal review, that this is, all right to do.
Will Catherine be at the public hearing of the master plan?
Oh, I don't know about the master plan.
I thought Nicole was gonna be on maternity leave.
She is, yeah, I
So
don't.
it could be her and Michael.
Catherine didn't know if she would make it.
Oh, okay.
I think, were you on that email?
Doesn't
It was-
sound familiar.
It was on the, yeah, it was on, okay.
Was it a
It's
while
in the
back?
no, it's the email that would have come to your new email. So, it was the, one with the wording for the public hearing.
The master plan public hearing, is that what you were asking about, Katie?
Yeah, she's gonna be at the February 10th. That would be a good place for Marv to pick her brain.
True.
So,
She was gonna try.
when do you think we could get the results of the legal review? Could we get that like in a week or so?
Probably within a week, I would think. Yeah.
Know which
I'll ask her,
direction.
I'll ask her tomorrow.
Okay.
As soon as I have the opportunity.
Who supports Marv's motion?
Nobody yet.
No, so I'm asking.
Is it, I'm just wondering, is it premature to move ahead with this until we vote to repeal?
I would say yes.
No, because if we vote, if we come to the vote to repeal, then we know the results if this is accomplished first. You know, if we vote affirmative to repeal, we know it's gonna be on the ballot.
But if the vote for repeal doesn't pass,
Then it
we've
wouldn't be,
just spent a whole lot of money we didn't need to spend.
and that is true.
So that's why I think we should wait until we have the public hearing. And then we vote, either at the public hearing or after the public hearing. And then we can make a vote if we wanna spend more
There's
money.
7 days from the date of publication.
Yeah, the timing of that would be quite tough. If how you're gonna turn that in 7 days and get it back to the township.
Yeah, that wouldn't work that way.
Is it premature to ask the question? No, I think it's probably premature to do the work. But,
Where's it your goal to have it on the August or November ballot? What were those
If
deadlines?
the deadline to get it on the August ballot would be May 10th,
So we would still have time.
but the time frame is for the people who are
Right.
petitioning.
yeah, they only have 8
So
days to
you
file
have-
the intent.
Yeah, you have 15 days to publish it, so it's law, and then on the 9th day after it's published, it's law. So the people who wanna fight it have 7 days, within 7 days, they have to send a letter of intent, which Catherine said could just be a letter that says, I intend to petition. But then it's 30 days, my understanding is it's 30 days from that publication to get the days, to get those 168 or 158 signatures. So there's really a crunch. So if we decided the night of the public hearing to direct our attorney to do it, I don't think she would have enough time to get everything ready so canvassers could have the petitions in their hands and go door to door and have everything. That would be a really
But
tight
you don't
time
need the
crunch.
signatures in 7 days, you only need the letter in
Well, you
7
need them
days.
all within 30 days.
Right, but you don't need then you would still have time for her to draw up a petition if we voted to do that after the public hearing.
But that you don't wanna infringe on the people's 30 days to do it. They have a full 30 days to do it. They don't wanna wait around for an attorney for 15 days.
Yeah, so that's why if we do it before, then they wouldn't have that time crunch. It'd be a lot easier. Because if we do it after, then it's just the people that are against the vote would have the responsibility and the ability. The government can't move near as fast as what an individual or even a group can.
Tiling floors will fade out in rural areas. This water.
Another thing, I just thought of, I don't know if this is written into the zoning enabling act, I haven't researched it, but do ordinances have to become law after 8 days, or can that period be extended by the board? And say, well, let's say we voted on it on March 5, and we say, well, we're gonna take 30 or 60 days before it would become activated, and would that give more time for us to hire the attorneys to do this work? I don't know the answer to that question, it's just spitballing off the top of my head.
And we don't have to vote on it on March 5th. We can vote on it at the next
No,
board
but
meeting.
we're not gonna know the result of the vote until we actually vote, and then that is the trigger, right, that would
Give you the
start the 7
7
days, or 8 or whatever you want to do.
Until you've voted on it, you don't have the ordinance to put into the petition language. You have to adopt the ordinance to petition the ordinance.
Yeah, I don't think you could, I'm not sure how your attorney came up with the idea that you could do it ahead of time. And I'm not saying he's wrong, I just don't know how, that's not jiving in my head, how that would work.
And if we don't vote till April, there wouldn't be 30 days between April and May 10th meeting for it to be on the August ballot, so then it's November. And then if we go further than that, you're looking at 2027 for a vote.
Yeah.
You're pushing into, or a special election.
Oh,
I'd
I
say
think,
voting
I
on
think
it.
we could probably vote on it on March 5. That's when everybody, or at the March meeting, one or the other. I think we can vote on this thing in March.
I think the public is expecting a vote at the public hearing, because we
Yeah.
made it also a special meeting, so
Yeah, where it can be,
I think the public is expecting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
that
that
puts it to bed. I mean, that's it, and it's done. Everybody's, opinions that are gonna be received, or will have been received, they'll be fresh in your head, and make your call at that time. Yeah, I know. Anybody got anything for Mark's motion? And I'm gonna say it fails for lack of support. Like where you're going with it, Mark, there's some things, I don't think it's quite
We
right.
need legal clarity, I
Yeah.
don't believe it's lawful.
But I'll ask for more clarification, Mark. fire department, said Mark didn't give me anything on the phone, he just said he wasn't gonna be able to make it, so. Anything with the DDA?
We moved our meeting dates, and we will be meeting from now on. We should have met at 5 o'clock today.
Oh.
So we'll be meeting the third Monday, just before this meeting. But it was canceled early on with the weather, so, no.
Sounds good. Thank you. The ambulance authority, working through the budget for next year, we got cash coming in from taxes, which is good. The new director is a go-getter, he's working really hard over there, still trying to figure out where where we can, where the right numbers are, and if, look at where that entity really needs to be, we probably need about 400,000 more in revenue somewhere to make it work, across all the entities that are involved in it, which we kinda figured out is roughly 1 mil. One more mil, so we'd be at like a 2.25 mil for operations to make that work. So, I know that rumor mill moves quick, and so that's probably where we're heading, is asking for that.
Aren't we already at 2 mils?
We're at 1.75, 1.25 operating and 0.5 for, equipment
And we need 1 mil more.
for operations, so it'd be at 2.25 ops and 2.75 total.
So, does that add, I'm not following how that adds up, we're at 2.25 now, and we need.
No, we're at 1.75 now, and we need one more
1.75.
for ops.
Which is that something they're considering putting on the ballot this year, to
Yeah.
increase that? Okay, so that
Yeah,
would be.
I think that's what's gonna happen, we're gonna ask the question, do these communities wanna pay for it? We've tightened this thing down as much as it can be tightened, I mean, there's no more fat on the bone, and, it's gonna be a question to the people, do you want this or don't you? Do you wanna split it up and have people go to different entities, but it does cost a significant amount of money to run an ambulance authority, no matter who's doing it, so, that's.
So I called Mike Bertram from Torch Lake, and he seemed very, not just open, but enthused about offering their services to Township. He thought that response time would be pretty similar, just opposite end of the township being, faster versus slower.
Mhm.
The township is, what, 18 miles wide or something? I would like our supervisor to get some numbers from him and see if, so we can make some comparisons. I think we have options here. And we need to look at them all. We need to look at Torch Lake, and I think we need to look at Charlevoix. It could be the best option is 1/3, 1/3, 1/3. With 911, they can do that pretty easy. But in that way, the response times would all be faster than they are now.
You think a third in Jordan Valley as a possibility?
Yeah.
Well, if we're out, Jordan Valley Ambulance Authority doesn't exist. We are the biggest millage, or the biggest property tax payer in that entity by a significant margin. I think we're 50,000, we're at 221, 225, somewhere in there. Comes from Banks Township, 170 something comes from South Farm. And then the other entities are, I think, are all under 100,000, as for what they bring in. So my point is, if Banks Township pulls out, that authority won't exist, so you'll have to do a half and half between Torch Lake and, either, maybe you do a third with MMR, I think, who's doing, Central Lake, maybe, but at that point, I don't know that you're a whole lot faster than Torch Lake, so, yeah. So, I mean, that's certainly an option, to look at that. There's gonna be a lot of, legal review involved in that, because, we are a charter member of the organization, so if we pull out, there's gonna be, we're gonna be on the hook for some liabilities. So, just be aware of that, but I can certainly do the analysis.
Yeah, just like we get RFPs for everything else, we think it's time we do this for our ambulance service. So,
Alex, are you saying that the only way that JV, Jordan Valley can continue is basically if this additional one mill passes in our?
I think so. I mean,
Is that in our township or in?
no, it would be
all
everybody.
townships?
I mean, ideally, I don't know how you make this work, but ideally, these smaller townships would pay like 3 mills, and we would stay at 1.25 so that everybody's paying a similar amount. I don't know what that language looks like, but from a fairness perspective, you know, the fact that we're paying triple what Echo is paying, and we probably, I don't know for sure, I can't give you this data because I don't have it, but we probably, certainly on the Lake Shore, have a slower response time than Echo Township. That's concerning.
Well, are we a
So-
lot bigger? Are we using
Well,
more services?
we're 42 square miles versus everybody else is roughly 36, right? But as far as population, I couldn't tell you what that is. I think we have more of that as well. We certainly have an aging population, along the Lake Shore, who require more services.
So,
Yeah.
how did it get to that we're paying significantly more than the others?
Well, it's just 1.25 times your property. It's just that they have less valuable property over there.
Ah,
You know, if our average is 100,000, theirs is probably 60 or something like that.
Yeah, 'cause
I don't
on the
know that.
lakefront, we have, you know, the
Mhm.
inland lakes, Lake Michigan, we just have a higher property value.
Yep. That's how and that's why South Arm's so much higher, because they have the South Arm and Six Mile Lake, right? I think it's part of that's in Echo, but, yeah.
and if we go along with this, we'd spend a whole bunch more putting the substation in somewhere.
Mhm.
What's been on.
Potentially,
top,
yeah, if that's something we wanna do, yeah.
It seems to me like the substation in Atwood is pretty redundant to a full ambulance service in Torch Lake.
Can't argue with you on that one. Much as I want to. So, yeah, I mean, it's 6 miles away, why would you do that? Doesn't make any sense.
I mean, I don't think we need to get into
Or
all
9
the,
or whatever it is, but.
all the legalese and all that. We just need a conversation to find out if Torch Lake is interested and what
What
kind
the-
of fee they think would be appropriate, and
Okay.
then we can start to evaluate, you know, all of this together.
Yep.
And Marv, just be aware too that those millages don't expire until 28, so we're all gonna be on the hook for paying the taxes for it, whether or not we're a part of it, so.
That's a good point.
You gotta be thinking about that, people don't wanna pay, you know, $500 a year.
Well, it takes a long time to
Yeah.
make a change. It's not gonna be changed in 26 if we did decide to do it.
Right, right.
It's true.
So the proposed millage, would that start before 28?
Yeah, that would be proposed on the May ballot. We're gonna make a vote on that on January 28th at the regular meeting, next Wednesday. And, it would be on the May ballot for a summer tax, cause we need the cash to keep it operating.
So they would.
So it'd be 2 taxes, it would be one in the summer and one in the winter.
Oh, wow.
For
Okay.
a period, and the idea being that would end, this 1 mill would end, in 28. And then we would ask for the 2.25 in operating,
Mhm.
so it'd be
So
one
the
tax
renewal will be
going
different,
forward.
okay.
Mhm.
Probably right around the time people get the special assessment too from.
Hey, you know what, just open the checkbook, right?
And drain-
Everybody will
and
love
drain
that,
it.
I'm sure. Yeah, nothing's cheap, and
yeah, it's probably pretty complicated, but it would be really great to figure out a way to find out, make sure we're not missing an opportunity.
no, I agree, that's fine, I'll reach
Obviously,
out and.
that JV service is really financially challenged, and, I
It
don't know
is.
if anybody can do any better.
I don't know, yeah.
But we
I mean,
gotta
it didn't
find-
help when, Wilson took half of their most valuable half and went to Lake Charlevoix with them, and, you know, and left Jordan Valley with the less well-off homes. You know, it's just not, it's a tornado of problems that have gotten us to this point, so. And none of us can see a way to improve the revenue in a significant enough way to make it so we don't have to have the millage. Now, there's talk, and we have proposal to start a mechanic shop. So hire a diesel mechanic to work on our own stuff, save us a bunch of money on repairs and maintenance. Doing that all in-house, and then being able to do work for Lake Charlevoix. But, you know, best case scenario, in the next year, maybe you make 80 grand, at minimum, you save some money, kinda. I don't think the guy would have to work that much based on my analysis of what it would cost, for other entities to make it work out, but in order to actually make the money and help out, you're a couple years away. Maybe we go that route and it all works out wonderfully, and we end up with 2 mechanics, and you're doing all this work that is all going down to Big Rapids right now, for Lake Charlevoix and Boyne City and Emmett County. They're all sending it down to a guy named Don, down in, Big Rapids. Maybe this thing works out, and you end up making enough that you don't need that extra millage. That is certainly possible, but you know, we all know up here, business, doing things like that, they're all full of risk, right?
I
So.
can hardly imagine it's gonna be a moneymaker.
Well, it costs a lot of money to have them things fixed, so, yeah, I don't know, yeah.
Usually the whole operation.
Usually the government, looking over it is not gonna be able to compete with the private, if this guy's
Private
private.
sector, the problem is, you have to send, minimum of 2 vehicles down there, okay, cause you gotta drive the thing down, and then you gotta ride back, and then you gotta go back and do it again, so you're spending tons of money to drive your people back and forth to go get the thing, and.
So these
Yeah.
can't be worked on at any typical
So
job?
Rambus can do some of the work, but none of the emergency work, is my understanding. So, yeah, there's, yeah, all that actual EMS work has to be done at the place in Big Rapids. So anyway, January 28th, come on, it'll be a good time. And then we'll also be finalizing our proposed budget, so that we can then set the public hearing for that, and people can give their input on that as well, at the January 28th meeting.
I'm sorry to ask you to do more work, Alex, but obviously, you being on that board already, you're in the best position to
That's it.
talk to
Yeah.
any other neighboring
Yeah.
entities
Yep,
to get information.
yep, I'll find out. It's no problem, I can make phone calls. I've talked to Mike a number of times. So I'd be happy to talk with him again and be more specific in my discussions. All right, anything else on the inventory? Any questions? Okay. Any correspondence? I know we got a letter from Laura right before the meeting, so.
Yeah.
I'll pass that on to you guys as soon as I have a minute.
There's some other letters in there that I got, that I attached. There's a fireworks committee letter, the interim, or that's different. DTE, we are on automatic, we're on auto pay. As of February 27th, we will not be on auto pay, because if we stay on auto pay, it's an extra $10 a month. So, that's stopping. And then there's the,
It's cause we're using a credit card, it's not, cause it's not drawn straight from the bank.
if we wanna draw it straight from the bank, it's free. But because we're using a credit card, there is, and we are a commercial account, it is a $10 processing fee for the credit card. It doesn't cost that much, by the way. For residential accounts, it's $2.99. So,
So why don't we just let them take it right out of the account?
we can't.
We
Yeah.
can't.
Says we can go do it in person, go to the kiosk, or use a mobile app,
Yeah,
so that,
we're
those
gonna
are
send
our
a check.
fee-free options,
Yeah.
or send a check, so we're not gonna go in person there, though.
And we can't connect it to our checking account, so we're going to send a check.
Cause we're gone.
Okay.
And I thought I had to get on and discontinue it, but I don't. They're gonna do it for me on the 27th. And then there's a letter in there from the planning commission, just letting us know that the village of Ellsworth adopted their master plan. And I think that's it.
Thank you. Okay, have you heard anything back on this oil stuff?
No, I just was thinking I was on the way over here, I would call someone in Gaylord, maybe they have a smaller coverage area, get something
Yeah.
lined in Upper Spring.
Okay. You get anywhere with the front door?
Dave?
Dave, did you have any
Sure.
luck with that front door?
Yes, I'm hoping that what we're coming up with is under warranty. They're just checking to see if they can get parts for that mechanism. If they can, then we should be covered. If they can't, it may be replacing the unit. And it's, those doors, well, we put them in, we've ordered those doors 3 times. They came damaged, warped, so they've been a pain in the butt since day one.
Mm-hmm.
The crash bar hardware that goes on those doors, is different than like the crash bar hardware that's here. But as Julie's recently learned, even the locking and unlocking of these doors requires certain sequence, or they're gonna go bad. So it's not like we replace it with something that doesn't look as nice, and we could still run into the same issue with just it not being operated properly, so.
It strips it if you don't put that key in there, right? When he came out to show me that door, that's the bigger problem, is the lock gets stripped. So even these doors, if people are not putting that key in and holding the bar right and turning it, it will strip it. I called Jerry today because for that door, it wouldn't shut. And part of it was, I got the snow and the ice around it, and I had to stand outside and push on it. They don't slam, I wish they did. It would've made it easier. While Beth pulled and we got it to lock, but then snow was still coming in around the door.
Oh,
So I called Jerry and he said he was gonna come look at it.
okay. See
So
what,
hopefully, I said we get something.
yeah, okay. Thank you. Alright, the website, Julie's done a really good job. Oh, by the way, I need to make an apology. Julie went on vacation and asked me to send out the notice for the planning commission meeting. That was on me. I screwed that up. I was at like hour 80 of the week. And, I failed to change the time, or the date, so I apologize. Not her fault. All right,
I
anyway.
fixed it though.
You did.
From
You-
Florida.
That was you. She fixed it, I failed. That's
Pretty
it.
fast fix, really.
It was.
It came like right
Travis
after.
asked me if he needed a DeLorean to get there. I thought that was good.
And at first I thought you just put like December, but had the right date, but you had the December meeting.
Yeah, I just didn't go through the whole thing to, fix it, so.
We are still working on adding and uploading old minutes. There are still more pictures I have to upload. And there will be a new widget for the texting app, because we have a different company now. And a flyer, and they actually have to have their own page to be compliant. So they will have their own page on our website too, that I have to add.
But for clarification, the up ahead gov
Was bought out.
somehow has been acquired by TextMyGov. Sounds like there might have been a lawsuit involved, and that was the settlement. I don't know, they didn't really explain it very well, but that's where it is. TextMyGov is now the vendor, not up ahead gov. So,
Everything stays the same. You don't have to, I was able to transfer all the phone numbers that were in there over to the new one. So nothing, anyone who is getting text should still get text. If someone doesn't get a text, just start again is the best I have. There's some slight differences when we send these out, like they have to say Ellsworth, Michigan. So I had told Tina, originally it said Banks Township. We took that off and did Ellsworth because we share with the village, but we can't differentiate between the village and the township. It's one thing, so when when we send it, it has to say Ellsworth, Michigan, or it will not let you send the text. It's part of their thing. If it seems like it's more abbreviated, it's because I'm only allowed 120 characters, and then it will send 2 texts. We are only allowed to send so many texts in our contract, so if we go over, we have to pay. And doesn't tell you, like when you go to send one, you'll see where it doesn't tell you, it says how many units you're sending and if you're okay with sending this many units. So I had to play around with the one I sent on Friday to figure out how to get it into 1 unit. Because if I'm sending 75 texts out in 2 units, I've just used,
You just sent one out, on Friday
yeah,
for this meeting, so if you didn't, if you're
I
supposed to
used
get
1
them,
unit,
and you didn't get it on Friday,
just re-sign up
just
again.
resign.
How many users do we have and what's it cost us a year?
We are up to 180 users, and I don't recall the cost.
Number 2,400 comes into my head
Yeah.
right now.
But we're in a
just-
3-year contract, so we can't do
Yeah.
anything.
About it.
That's what
And
we
we were
put it on the
splitting it with the
postcard.
village.
I remember we did all that up front and we had that setup cost. I just signed up for Constant Contact in Torch Lake Township. Boy, am I impressed.
Yeah.
It's like $100 a year, so you get an email once a week and it might be from the supervisor saying, here are the meetings coming up, here's the agenda. Treasurer might send something, the clerk. So she said they do it maybe once a week and it's an email and it is super cheap and I'm very impressed with the content and the format and it's good to know what our neighboring townships are doing too. And they have hundreds of users signed up.
You paid $100?
No, they do. They
Oh.
pay like $100 a year for
Okay.
like sending out
Through
mass.
email.
That's email, not text.
Yeah, that's
Correct, and
email.
it's, you can just go online and sign up. I subscribe to get the updates from, Supervisor Cook and Treasurer Schultz, and It's good information.
Yeah. Cool. Well, so this is the website, if you haven't gotten to go there yet, nice to see it up there. A lot of it's similar, but, Julie's done a really good job of building it out. So there's pages for each one of the boards and, so you go to the Board of Trustees, it breaks down kind of what that board does, on a high level, and then who each, of the, members are, and how to contact us. So, and,
I didn't
This-
fix that page yet.
this one's not done yet, okay? Well, there's been a lot. So meeting minutes, I mean, good heavens. You wanna have some light reading, you can go back to,
It only
what?
goes till 2005 right now.
oh, this one's only 2005?
Yeah, so
Okay.
when we switched, it didn't pull everything over, so I have to start all over again.
No, okay.
And then 2015 to 2018 are missing because they were uploaded, or maybe I started,
You
so
got
it's,
16. Okay.
they were uploaded directly to the old website, so those also did not transfer over, so I have to upload all those again.
But you do have the data back to 66?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. People will be able to go back.
So my one disclaimer is if someone is like, oh, I'm gonna look and see what she's uploaded, and if you say open 1991, and it says 2016, it's cause to make the columns, I have to copy and paste to make the columns, and then I had to go back in and change the dates and delete all the information, and it's really hard to remember as I'm doing it, did I delete that or not delete that? So even today, I found 2 that I hadn't deleted and went back in and deleted it. Cause it's all copy and pasted.
It's a work in process, but, we've come along well, so appreciate you taking all that work on.
Thank you, it's tremendous
It's
work.
been a lot of work. And if you got cool pictures of our township, send them in to Julie. She'd love to have them.
Did you get an answer on planning commissioners' emails?
No, we need to get to that part. I don't know, probably add that in the email policy resolution. I'll go over that, because, I gotta figure that out. I went to sign up one more for the deputy clerk and one for FOIA and ran into some stuff, and I don't wanna overspend, so. So, yeah, that's the website. Check it out. All right, I guess we can do it now. This is all related to the website. So like I said, went to get a specialized FOIA, email address, cause think there's benefit to that, to having one FOIA email address that all 5 of us can access and read. Now, if any of us get one, we still have to respond to it, but if we could direct people to a specific place, that could be helpful, because if, Julie's on vacation, like, maybe she goes to somewhere that she doesn't have access to email or something like that, and something gets sent in, we still need to respond to
We have
those
a
things.
legal,
Yeah.
obligation to respond.
Right, so if we had it on the website, hey, FOIA requests, go to FOIA at Banks Township, mi.gov, and then we would be able to all see that. That could be beneficial, for legal reasons. So that, go ahead, Mark.
So
Ask the
how
question.
does everybody check their email? For instance, this new one they got, they go on the website and it's there.
Mhm.
But do you all have to go to another website to check this email? Because my email comes to, what is it, Outlook Express or something?
You have Outlook on your computer?
Yeah.
You should be able to add this to your Outlook on your computer, and then you wouldn't have to go to a website. If you need help with that, let me know. I'm
Yeah,
happy
'cause
to-
it's all through Outlook.
Yeah, it's an Outlook email address, and should be able to add it without
You
trouble.
can, and that's, cause the .net is in, my .net is in Outlook, and this new one is in Outlook, so I created a new drop-down menu. And I have both emails right now and one goes from the other, so the other thing that has to happen is I have to email ProWeb for you guys, and I might have to do it for you, and tell them to forward, they can create a forward. We can't do it is not allowed. ProWeb has to create the forward from your old .net email to the new email. For some reason, we can't. They have it set that way.
That's part of why we switched, a little more autonomy.
So if you used the treasurer at bankstownship.net, we have to get a hold of ProWeb and have them forward it to somebody else.
Yeah, cause I have all manner of accounts, like my login.gov, the state payroll.
Same.
I can't just drop what I'm doing and switch emails, I can't do that, the credit card, everything, my banking, it's all time,
It'll take some
it'll
time.
take a lot of time.
That's what I started, and I have a list of everyone I started changing as I go, so I know, cause a lot of the MI login, all of that, I haven't
Yeah.
touched any of those yet, cause it is a
Yeah.
pain. But I've got a list.
And like with the SAM registration, I might have to start over. I don't know that they're just gonna let me in login.gov, that whole government thing, I don't think you can just change your name, your email, whatever, I'm not sure that, I might have to make all new accounts.
Well, right now, we haven't passed the resolution.
Let's not
so-
pass the resolution, cause I'm not gonna be ready the minute we walk out the door to switch
No,
emails.
I don't think anybody is, so we can work on that.
I mean, I think it's
But-
a great idea to have, that we're using the
Dot gov.
.gov,
Yeah.
just because it does
It's
have
a
a lot.
battleship, I get it, it
Yeah.
takes a while.
Yeah.
The thing that I have found so far that's nice with the .gov is I don't know if any of you have gotten it yet, but you get a quarantine email. And all those fun emails that say, Julie, this is Alex,
Yeah, send me a check,
send me a check.
yeah.
It goes to quarantine, and then I get a quarantine list that says, are these approved senders or not? And you can preview them if you want, and either approve or send to nowhere land. So it's kinda cool.
So it's like spam mail, but on steroids.
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
So, that brings me, so the FOIA one, and then the deputy clerk needs one, I think, Julie's requested it, and certainly does a lot of work, and should have a separate email from the clerk. Again, the point of a deputy is to have somebody to back you up when you're out, and it's not good, cyber practices to have people sharing emails, like I said, with the exception of maybe like a FOIA one, and even that, I think I can make a group where you could email FOIA and it would just shoot out to all 5 of us. At least that's what I was seeing in the setups, so may not even need to add that as an email address. But then, the question is, do we want additional email addresses for each one of the planning commission members for them to communicate with, so that they're not forced to use a personal email address? Or do we tell them, just make a Gmail address and call it a day. The email addresses in the first year cost $5 a month, so that's $60 a year. After the first year, they go to $105 a year. So they go up a little bit.
Per address.
Per email address, yep. And then if you want, there's a couple of options. There's an advanced security email that you can have on it, and you can also pay for a complete backup system. So you say, well, I accidentally deleted this email 3 weeks ago, you can go back to that and actually go get it. But the price tag on that's about $700 a year to have that functionality. So I thought we should talk about that.
What about the assessor, the zoning administrator?
Yep, so there's 2 more.
And I feel like with the
The
planning
zoning
commission-
administrator has one.
Oh, he already
We
has
agreed to
one.
that one
Okay, so what about,
early on.
Bob asked me if he needed one. Well, and the
Yeah.
email addresses, they're not ours, they belong to the township, those are public, so I feel like the
Bob's
planning
is
commission, same
personal.
thing, it should be,
Yeah.
they should have email addresses, like PC member 1, PC member 2, PC chair.
Yeah.
For them to
Yeah,
do official
sure.
business, cause those could be FOIA too.
Mhm.
And I don't want their personal emails all mixed up with, you know,
Yeah.
official, I don't want them having to go through that, so I think that's, I think they should, PC members should all have an official email.
Okay.
The FOIA one confuses me though, because are we all gonna jump on a FOIA? We can't do that, we can't all respond to a FOIA.
No, but
So if it all came
if
to
one of
us-
us gets it, we need to make sure that she starts working on it.
Is that gonna make a lot more work for us all though? Is she gonna get bugged by 4 people saying, did you see it, Julie, did you see that email, Julie,
Maybe.
Julie, Julie, you know what I'm saying?
I would argue that that's better than missing it.
Yeah.
So,
I think the bigger thing is if I'm not
yeah,
here.
I think a lot of it's just, if she's not able to see the
But if she's
email,
not there to
okay.
see it, then how do we access the information? Cause it's usually they want clerk stuff, they don't technically, well, they'll want
They want
things,
something from the
yeah,
office.
they want something from the office, so.
So if the clerk gets a email when she's not here, the deputy clerk can't get that email?
Well,
How can the deputy clerk fill in if it's a email-based request? If you can't have 2 people access an email.
it's not recommended, right?
But the
Yeah.
FOIA email should be a separate one. I know like the
They
county
break-
has
yeah.
a FOIA email that the 2 of them could access. But I don't think we all need to get every FOIA request, cause what are we gonna do?
It's just to make sure that it's being followed up on it, cause it's incumbent on all 5 of us as board members to make sure that FOIA requests are responded to.
But are all of our email communications then through this email, all of them are accessible by the FOIA clerk?
No.
That is one of the benefits of the advanced email thing and backup is, she'd basically be able to read all your emails.
Yeah.
And she could just look in there and say, yep, here's one, whatever you're looking for, there's an email about that. So, that would probably make things a little bit easier.
Versus
in
me
one way.
waiting and emailing, because when a FOIA comes in, you only have five days?
Yeah,
From
5
when-
days goes to 10 if you.
Yep. And there is no, oh, I was out of town, I didn't see it. No, it's, the law is pretty clear.
Mhm.
It's 5 days.
Yeah.
That's why it seems like the deputy clerk should be able to, I understand it's.
I'm
not-
okay if it's just me and the deputy.
Yeah, and can't there be a way that if the clerk is out of town or off duty,
Yeah.
that the deputy can monitor her email?
Or the clerk could have all emails forwarded to the deputy clerk's email, that'd probably be the best thing to do.
Which
Yeah.
I can do with this new email.
That'd be good.
At the county, we have a FOIA coordinator and they have an assistant. When I get FOIA'd, which I've been FOIA'd,
Have you really? I can't believe that.
so, the FOIA coordinator gets the email, says, Mr. Rubing, we have been FOIA'd and we want everything in your communication that has to do with Barnes Park. This is real world example, right? They can get my emails, the administrator, they can get every single email I've ever written. But
but she is not going to do that because she doesn't need more work to do to look through my emails to find everything I've ever written about Barnes Park. It's my responsibility to turn into her how many emails I've gotten, how long it's gonna take me to generate those emails, and how long it's gonna take to respond to, well, what do you wanna know about Barnes Park? And I have to give a time estimate of that. So do all 5 commissioners. That is not the FOIA's coordinator's job. Her emails to say, Commissioner Rubin, we got a FOIA about Barnes Park, we need to know these 3 things. Please email them to me within the next 5 days, and I will respond to the FOIA requester and let them know how many hours so that they know how much they're gonna have to pay for this. It's 2 people. Sorry to chime in.
No, you're fine, no problem, no problem. Well, how many first one, how many emails do you want? Do we want one for all the planning commissioners? Well, it'd be 4, cause you already have one.
Right. We have our chair here and we have another planning commission member, so I would value their input, but I don't think we need that. We have monthly meetings.
Hey, Richard,
And-
you're kinda creating a meeting there, you know?
Yeah.
3 of
Since
you,
they're here, you can't really ask
kinda
them.
got a quorum there, you know?
Yeah.
I do see I see the extra cost and I see the keep it out of their personal. Because that's my biggest thing is I want everything separate from my personal. So if we have to pick one, the chair definitely needs one. But I also get the PC members wanting something separate from their personal. So the first year is 60 and then after that it's 100?
104.
104?
105, yeah.
For the PC emails.
Each email address, would be all 5 of us, 4 more.
I think
Makes 9.
that's ridiculous.
$100 an email?
That's a lot, that's a ridiculous amount to spend for that.
You
I don't
know.
think it's
Yeah,
necessary
that
at all.
changes.
I don't want one. I don't mind using my personal email for planning commission. I don't need one.
I created one just for
Planning commission.
a Gmail, a free
Then I
Gmail.
say we have the planning commission do that. It's $100, even for us, it's $100 an email.
Yep.
After the first year, we get a little break. for the
Data
first
costs
year.
money.
So
We're not
is
building
my-
data centers for free.
So just for me, for an example, so if I take this email and turn it into Outlook, does that make it personal? I mean, it's in the same as
No,
my
it's cause it's
personal.
in a separate inbox.
Oh.
So they're not, they shouldn't, you can choose when you go to email, out from Outlook, you can choose which email address you're emailing from. And then it would, so if you do official business, you make sure you're sending it from your Banks Township email. Personal stuff, send it from your regular one, and they do not go.
So then according to Patty, anyone has the option of making a new email, whether it's Gmail or whatever, for their
Sure.
business.
Yep,
and
there's
that
plenty
would
of
be
free
sent.
email services. Yep. That's fine, if that's the way we wanna go, I just wanted to put it out there.
What
for
is
discussion.
what is the email you made for the planning commission?
PettyHouse7@gmail.com.
Okay, so I got 2 for you.
I know. I only communicate with you though through the Gmail account.
Okay.
Well, that brings up another question then, because they're appointed, is that email information public? Cause there are people that have said, oh, I wanna email the board and I wanna email the planning commission chair, and I say, I'm not giving their email. But if she has
One that she
Yeah,
created.
as a
Public facing,
public, then
yeah.
should that be online, that emails could be sent there then?
That's fine.
Yeah.
So yours is the Patty,
PettyHouse7@gmail.com. Anyways, you can just create a free Gmail account too. And only conduct that business through that.
yeah, it's Patty House 7.
Okay. Gmail.com.
Yep.
So we do the same thing with ZBA, right? And Board of Review doesn't even talk via email, so that.
I would say the ZBA too to create their own. And then it is the responsibility of the board members to get me said emails. I think we're all adults, you can email me an email, I don't have to chase people down. And once I get them, I'll put them on the website. I do not put the other board members' personal phone numbers. If you want it online, I can, I wasn't gonna do that though.
Everyone's got my number. And I don't have a problem with creating another email.
Okay.
Or even using my personal email.
Well, but even your personal
it's-
one's not listed.
Yeah, it's more missing emails. I mean, my personal one gets, I rarely go there, it's gotten so jumped up that,
If you can contact, as a chair, reach out to the rest of the planning commission and ask them if they're either going to create one or use their personal, so I know, and if they want it listed on the website, I will list it. Right now, it just has names. I did not put emails and I did not put phone numbers. If you want your phone number listed for the public to call you, let me know and I'll add it. I have it all on a sheet in the office, but it is not listed online.
I don't think we should have any of that.
Get this
Yeah.
all updated.
Yeah, she's working on it right now.
My opinion would be those boards don't need their personal contact information on the website. There's easy enough ways to contact anybody. And if the chair is willing to do that, they can go through the chair. We don't need all that personal information on the website, and we don't need to pay for those kind of expensive email services to avoid the personal thing, but.
Yep,
That's
well,
my opinion.
That's fine with me. I got no problem with that. All right, but the deputy clerk needs one, and do we want the assessor to have one?
You just asked if you needed one, you didn't say you wanted one.
No, I-
I guess it's gonna be, it would be a challenge for
Everything-
him to change it too.
Yeah, everything for him is all through.
He's a contracted
Yeah.
employee anyway, he's a contractor.
Yeah.
Contractor.
Nah,
He can
Working
respond
fine.
to assessor.
he's very responsive to his
Yes,
emails,
he
it's
is.
all working good.
He's the only person
Okay.
I know that says email me instead of call me. He will respond immediately to an email, phone call not so much.
Okay, so then I don't think we need any, well, it's just the deputy clerk email.
We
So,
already did that one.
yeah, did we okay with anything? Let me go back and try to get my money back from February. All right, okay, then that's good. Good with that. All right, 2026 road projects. I haven't gotten anything back from Bert about, Essex and the chunks. I did talk to Pete Hoogerhide tonight on my way in. Mark, he said he tried to text me and tell he wasn't ignoring you or whatever, but he's been on, accident scene since 3 AM. So he was gonna be here tonight, but, he was still somewhere.
Him and I talked and we made a plan, and if we wanna follow it, but, he said he's had in the past where he thinks he can persuade one other board member to go along with him, and he says if a township requests some repairs on a road, in our case Essex Road, if we can put some money with it, then he can say, he was preferred to say, I was at the meeting and I heard him say they would put some money with it, and so we should do this. And the thought we had was that if this township board would put the proposal together to, contribute $200,000 to Essex Road, if the county would do up at least half of it, then he thought that there would be a good chance that he could get that accomplished in this coming year. They don't have the $2.5 million from the state yet, but they're supposed to get it sometime, but you know how all that works. But he said they needed to finish up, Old State, and then he thought there would be enough that if he could get the support, our support by putting some money with it, then he thought he could get the rest of the board support to get Essex Road next on the list, and possibly this year. So-
But that plan would do half of Essex Road.
Yeah, you
This
did
year.
pick one
How
side.
do you pick which half?
I'll let
I mean,
you
I would
pick
hate-
it.
I'm
not gonna pick which half.
No, I know, and I don't wanna pick my
Two of
half,
you live on
cause
one side of it, and nobody lives on
I
the
know.
other. I heard
We
your
just do
mom
the
and dad
middle.
live on the other side.
I don't know, it's pretty rough on, I went to Traverse it's pretty rough between Peoples and, I wanna say church, where you are, you're dodging.
In that,
I
It
don't
is
think
bad.
it really matters, because if we get this done and they do one half, they're gonna be somewhat committed to doing the other half. I think it's very probable the other half will get done the following year.
The same
But
deal.
there's no guarantee, but, that, so I'm not really worried about which half at this point. I think we should tell them that if they can do at least half, and maybe they can do more, there's always that possibility, but if we put in a motion, at least half, and we contribute 200,000 to get it done.
Marv, do you think that there's a need on your side of the township, on Essex Road, to make the road wider and pave the shoulders wider for the large equipment? Do you think that would be?
I think that would make the road last a lot longer.
Well, I'm looking at like what we have on 31, and I'm thinking we almost need to pave the shoulders out on Essex Road a little bit.
Well, Atwood Road is Class A, so it's got that extra
Okay,
paved
like
shoulder.
maybe we talk about Class A from the village limits to where?
Oh,
On Essex, where's the end of your fields?
Dennis.
Well, we farm- well,
The
we
village of Essex, is that about where?
Well,
Because,
we farm down there, and like this summer, I drove a tractor from Church Road, hauling a haybine, from Church Road to Essex Road home, and it's awful. And so, okay,
You can't get off the road to
You
get
can't get
out
off
of
the
people's
road.
way.
so I can watch in front of me and behind me, and as people are trying to pass me in a no passing zone, and I'm pulling a haybine, going as fast as I can on a curvy, hilly road, bouncing along, like, it's not fun.
There's always big equipment going down.
oh yeah, there's always always behind Russ Bowl too. I
Well,
mean,
you've got
it's-
the mill there,
But
those
he's not.
giant trucks loaded down with.
I like when people try to pass me and I'm hauling a hay wagon with 15 round bales stacked on it and not strapped down, and it's rickety and rocky, and I'm trying to pull into my yard and they think they're gonna go around me. It's like playing the game of Frogger.
The other spot is that hill that's, between Eaton and Dennis. It was, I think, 2 or 3 years ago that I called the road commission and I said, we're taking that hill with our tankers and there's no shoulder and it's going down, and it was breaking the pavement off. And they did come and fix it, they put gravel on the shoulder, but otherwise that road would have been gone by the end of the year. Because of that steep bank on the edge. I don't, as much as I would like it to widen that road when you do places like that, it's gonna take a lot of money.
Yeah, I guarantee you, his 200,000 for half wasn't, that
It's not
offer
gonna be
doesn't
that
stand
half.
for
Oh,
Class
yeah,
A.
we want that half Class A.
Yeah.
Just thinking about prolonging, we
Oh,
haven't
I-
done anything since the corner on Essex there, the city of Essex or the village of Essex. Just thinking about ways to preserve that road.
Last time Essex was besides that corner.
Do you remember that, Marv? That's the last time. When did we do that corner?
I don't think
2012?
Essex, when I asked, I don't
2010?
think Essex has, other than that corner. has
Yeah,
ever been touched.
nothing's been done since I've been on except
In
for that corner.
what, 60
because
years since
It's
they
the
paved it?
county's responsibility,
Yeah.
but the county hasn't done anything.
I think I asked Bert that, and he didn't have any record of that road ever
I
being
don't
touched,
remember it being done.
other than,
25 years.
other than patchwork.
Which is held up fairly decent.
Yeah.
That corner, it's not perfect, but it's held
Oh,
up.
that corner's held up well.
It's held up very well for
Mhm.
15 years or whatever it's been.
Yeah.
Do you remember when we did that, Dave? Were you on the board when we did it?
Yeah, it was, but it was just, Mitchell Road or South Dennis, what we'd fixed, and the county was nice enough to fix the corner for us.
Oh, because you were doing Dennis
Because we
Road?
were doing the Dennis Road.
Oh, okay. They
We
added-
paved Dennis up to the top of the hill,
Okay.
because they were there with the equipment.
You know that if we fix Essex Road, it's gonna get more use.
Oh, yeah.
And,
More-
as
more
unreasonable
crews.
as it seems, the farm safety gurus all say that when you're driving farm equipment, don't go off the side of the road, fill the lane up all the way to the center line, so that people, tend not to pass when they're not supposed to pass.
Mhm.
And you'd like to get out of the way, but, they say not to.
I've got extra 5 minutes, so you can't technically do do that right now, can you, with some of your equipment? You
No.
can't do the lane, you have to cross the center line.
Yeah.
Or you're on the shoulder.
Mhm.
So if we were able to pave the shoulders in some areas, you might be able to do that, you might be able to stay in your lane.
Mhm.
Yeah, right now you can't. That makes it fun for driving when you have one wheel on the road and one wheel on the shoulder.
Okay, so do we wanna ask them for what it would cost, to do that, or what,
I
do
think
you wanna
we-
propose to Pete, you wanna go talk to him some more and come back in March with something, or?
February.
No, I want,
Thank you.
I want to
I
pass
lost a whole
the,
month of my life.
pass the offer that we will contribute 200,000 if they do at least half of Essex Road.
When you get more road tax.
That's pretty much gonna tap us up,
Yeah.
Jim.
That's gonna
Times
take most
drive
of our,
up home.
so it's a serious
50 grand
decision,
left,
this
yeah.
isn't like.
No, it's
It's
not.
a total of like 250, and then there won't be anything until this December. So whatever's here in
Yeah.
March is it for the whole year.
Don't depend.
Pretty much, we tapped it out basically down to what, 16,000 or something like that at the
Yeah.
end of the year. So, yeah, you're looking at having 40 grand maybe, plus the, road commission's contributions.
We
Whatever
should
that number
put a,
might be.
put a date on it. I mean, we can't do that indefinitely. If they're not gonna do it, we wanna use our money somewhere else.
That's fair, yeah.
So I don't know what the magic date is. You give them a couple of months. Jared probably knows better when they need to make decisions by.
Usually, when I was on the road commission, it was in March that they were submitting bids, you know, Elmer's,
So we
Payne
need
and
to get
Nolan.
something now.
I mean, if you want it paid between May and September, that's when the majority of the bids were going out, was March.
As Pete said, they had to know that we were serious and would be willing to contribute. And that's it sounded to me like that was the only way that he could use us as leverage to get it done, otherwise he didn't think it could happen.
So this,
I know Kevin's on board, if that 2.5 shows up. And he told me that he would be very in favor of doing the whole thing, but
And Bert's off pretty quick?
he's got a couple more months according to Pete. They're still working on, getting his replacement, and they got a couple more interviews this week.
Cause Bert's the one that's opposed to it, to be very frank with you.
He certainly hasn't moved to fit with him in
He
that.
doesn't wanna do it, I don't know why.
I brought it up years ago, Bert is adamantly opposed to it. He said, we don't need 2 areas to come into Banks Township, we have Atwood Road, why would we ever fix Essex?
I don't know, for the people who live on it.
For ambulances,
just what he
for
said and
school
what he
buses,
thinks,
for
so.
fire trucks, for
Yeah.
millions of dollars of private vehicles driving up and down it, from East Jordan, from whenever, everybody uses that.
Yep.
And trucks don't really, they come empty, but that's a hard pull out, turning off 31 and pulling straight up that hill. That's a hard pull if you're really moving. So they do go to M88, they do go to C48, but you do have, an ambulance has to go down that road if they have an emergency, a fire
School
truck.
buses?
Millions and
buses.
millions of dollars worth of
Well,
taxpayer.
I don't know if they still do, they used to. 'Cause
School
you'd-
buses.
You'd have to see how high you could get in, sit in the back seat and see how high you'd get right before your parents' house. Like people
So, the
See if you
bus,
could hit the ceiling.
the bus, I don't know about the other end, but for Essex Road, we are the last pickup. They pull into our driveway and then head back to town. They
Yeah,
come from
certainly,
town.
yeah, good point. I was thinking of like when they're going to basketball games or something like that somewhere else, but you're right,
They-
every day they're on that road.
Every day that the school buses are on our road. For going to games, I believe they do avoid Essex
I
Road.
would. Okay,
but,
So-
so this idea of potentially making it wider or in spots, that seems, I mean, we should clarify what the intention is.
I don't think it's feasible. I mean, it's just gonna cost too much money. I don't
yeah,
think.
you stretch it, make it a foot wider on each side, and it's probably gonna make the price go up by $500,000. Would be for the whole length of it, I'm saying.
Oh, I'm thinking just for where you have the concentration of ag.
Then
I
you're
suppose-
then you're doing it all for me, and we heard all about that.
Well,
It would be me
I can see where that would be the talking point, Mark, but it would be so that the road held up over the course of its, have a longer life. Just because you're the guy using it doesn't.
I can clear myself of this, all I gotta do is abstain, and let you guys make the
There you go.
decision.
I think you still wanna address the shoulders, whether they're paved or not, but
Make them wider.
not just doing a recap like Rushton Road
No,
and they come back and they don't put any gravel on the 3-inch drop off and that road was falling apart before they even got to gravel in it.
But, I mean, yeah, it has to be conveyed that they know that there's heavy equipment and wide equipment going down that road a lot.
Well, not only that, but there's several places that they're low, and that's where the potholes are. If they added some fill there, and when they talked about it 2 years ago on the road commission board, Bert's proposal was crush and shape. That's not adding any fill, that's not taking care of the shoulders, that's just doing exactly what is there now and expecting a different result?
Yeah,
That doesn't make too much sense.
The number he gave me, the $2.5 million, was to rebuild it. So that's what I assumed we would be doing. For Robert. I think it needs to be rebuilt. To your point, it's the swamps need to be built to 2026 standards.
They've got,
Not to
if you raised them
1955.
up 1.5 foot, the drainage and the ability for moisture to get away would prolong it immeasurably.
Yeah, you're right. Well, I think that's probably your best value of what our offers are so far. I think you do a quarter, 2/3 of a mile of C-48 for $230, or you can get half of Essex done. I think that's probably a better play.
I mean, the other option is wait for next year and try with the state legislature again, but, you know, we've tried that 2 years now.
So we don't have much hope that this $2.5 million thing is gonna be reality this year.
I think it is, but I haven't asked John Roth. He said it was coming, but Pete said it's not there, so.
They haven't received it yet, is the words he used tonight on the phone to me. And it's not earmarked, which is what we asked for when Demus and Roth were working on it, was that it would be specifically for Essex Road. Well, they gave them some extra money, but they didn't say where they had to use it, so now you're at the mercy of the road commission. And so.
But we have some support there for.
Yes,
using it.
Kevin thinks that that's what we should do. He was very vocal when I called him and said, you know, yeah, I'm all for it. And Pete's obviously more in the half and half range, and I haven't talked to Dieter, so.
So I think this is a good plan, but we wouldn't wanna lose the opportunity to potentially do the whole thing
Yeah,
if that money comes through. So maybe.
I agree. How do you negotiate that one? And we don't know when, if it'll even show up. So,
Yeah, I didn't even see Essex on the 5-year plan, so.
It's not.
We're not even, we're not on the list.
There'll be a state road this year, finish an old state out to 32, they got something he said with Durenzi Road, I think, in a couple of years. I don't have the whole thing memorized, but we're not on it,
No, I didn't see Essex on there.
other than for striping and stuff. Okay,
So what's the,
Well, I'll make the motion that we offer 200,000 to the road commission as our share.
Mhm.
If they pave or rebuild at least half of Essex Road this year. And to let us know by March 31.
did you say pave or rebuild?
If they rebuild
Rebuild.
and pave.
I think March 31st, you wanna know by our March meeting.
Yeah,
Cause Cause
Oh,
March
yeah,
31st would be after our March meeting.
Well, and they're gonna wanna be working on it, so.
I would say
in,
by our
like
March meeting.
Chair said in March,
What's our March meeting? It's like the 23rd.
23rd.
Yeah, by March 23rd.
That's fine.
I'd support that.
and widening the shoulders. Well, in
Let's
some
go.
way, whether that's
Well,
gravel or not, right? I mean, I'm not
Depends on
saying
which
it's not
half,
pavement.
it depends on which half
Well,
they're doing, yeah,
Is
it'd be
that
nice.
covered if you say rebuild?
I don't know, what's under the standard, you know?
They're gonna give us the lowest
I'm gonna,
standard, they're gonna give us
I'm
the
gonna
Hilo
include it,
standard.
to rebuild and pave, and widen shoulder with gravel or, do I add that?
You know, widen shoulder is gonna be, that's too, without some more communication, I don't think we know what we're asking for there and talking about. Cause that can quickly get into
Big money.
taking out more trees.
Oh, sure, yeah,
And,
yep.
So no widen shoulder?
well, we have to
We'll ask the
learn more,
question.
yeah.
Okay.
We got 200 grand. We want this to go as far as possible, right? And that's what we're gonna ask them for. I think.
I think you have, if we have to pick half, I think you have to pick the half towards
We
31.
got a quarter on it?
No, half
Then
towards
we can just leave it up to
the
the
faith.
flip.
Or maybe the half is right in the middle, maybe it's from Farrell to Essex,
Well, that's.
could be whatever half they wanna do. Contiguous half.
There's
Mhm.
two really bad spots, and they're not right at the end. There's, I can't remember, there's a hill, and then it's really bad, and then it's fine, and then between Peoples and Church, it's really bad again, and then you hit that curve and it's not so bad, and there's a few potholes between the
Basically,
second
Dennis
curve
Road
and
and,
town.
Dennis Road and Town.
But there's
pretty
two
rough.
spots there in the middle that are just really torn
It's-
up.
The
What if we
intersection of Peoples.
leave that open and they can decide? I mean, really, does it really
Okay.
matter to us?
Not really.
Yeah.
It's
Takes the
falling
blame
apart.
off the board.
It does.
Especially being.
They showed up, you
Yeah.
happy with that?
The half. Okay,
We called them last
so
year.
that's your motion, support,
I'll
you
pass.
call them what?
We called the road commission last year, cause they did the shoulders, and in front of my mother-in-law's house, they did something, and all of a sudden, it was just like this, to get out of her driveway was like this, where it was, come back and fix whatever you did, cause she can't leave her driveway.
Yeah. Okay, any further discussion on that? Alright, then, I'll
I'd like to,
maybe do.
excuse me, I'd like to figure out if there's any way we could have some additional communication, whether you've had ongoing communication with Roth, ask him, see if we can, again, I don't wanna like close the door on the whole possibility if that money comes through. So,
Yeah, I can
don't
appreciate
really
that.
necessarily wanna make this motion contingent upon that, but, like to,
Well, I'm confident that Roth and Demus will attempt to put it in again for us. I mean, they've told me that.
Suppose we get half of it done, now that the price tag's lower, maybe we'll get the other half paid for.
I was mostly thinking about
The current 2.5, yeah.
if it's still, I mean, Ross said it's coming, see if he can give you any more information.
Regarding more
Is it
information.
coming this year? When?
Oh,
when
that
is it coming?
2.5 million. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, okay. Sorry,
We're
I
about
was
to
thinking.
spend our whole road budget on doing half of it this year, and I don't know if it's still.
What's the cost
A
of the culvert
possibility.
replacement though, that's a couple $100,000,
Which one?
isn't it?
This one?
The one on the edge of the village,
It's
with
in
the
the
one.
village, yeah, I mean, when we looked at it a couple of years ago, it was a few, 350, I think is the.
That's a great thing for a grant from the state too, for us and the village to get
Mhm.
that culvert replaced or get that part, I think it's Bridge Street, is it Bridge Street?
Oh, the Bridge Street culvert?
Yeah.
Lake-
Oh, that-
Lake
Oh, that's a different.
Yeah, I think you're talking about Lake Street. Bridge Street, that's millions. What,
Yeah, that's over 3
3.3
million.
million or something?
For Bridge Street,
It's
right?
over 3 million, yeah.
And the one across from the tap.
Yeah.
That's the one that scares Tex the most, of all of them,
Sure.
of all three. And then you got the one on the village line on C-48.
So So we
That-
have no
that's the one that's
shortage
crumbling.
of critical
Yeah.
infrastructure projects with $3 million.
That's if you're just talking about the ones in Ellsworth.
If you just, right.
You talk about the one
within-
on Peoples Road,
Wh-
going out to
right,
Toad Lake,
right.
that's a disaster and a half. That will cost $1 million or something for a dirt road that doesn't, hardly goes to one house, I think, out back there.
Mhm.
I mean, that's just, and we lose gravel every time the snow melts in the spring. So, yeah, there's lots of culvert problems. And not enough money to cover it all. Okay, so anyway, motion on the table, it's $200,000, let's do a roll call vote on this thing. Richard?
Yes.
Mark?
Yes.
Katie?
Yes.
Julie?
Yes.
I'm a yes as well. Okay, so then we'll see what we can do. What'd you say, 3/23? Is that what we, March 23rd? Some weird code that we're using. Yeah, all right. I mean, that doesn't leave us with a whole lot. There's, every proposal that we asked about is at least $250,000, so I think that pretty much axes that until we get an answer. Okay, done with roads for right now. The streaming and uploading of meetings. It's, I brought in this is my microphone, and I brought my webcam. I was gonna try that out, but I didn't get here in time, so. How's the audio?
Whatever is going on with the streaming, YouTube isn't happy. so
Nothing is live streaming.
We're just
Okay.
recording.
He's hoping to record, so I'm recording.
So you can't tell
Upload it.
if it sounds good or not?
No.
That's too bad.
It seemed,
I guess we'll find out later.
the
It's-
levels seemed to be all right. I mean, when we were testing it, it was,
Yeah, when I've used it before, it picks people up pretty well, so I'm curious to see how it does from, even like Jared's back there. So, anyway, that was under $100, and the webcam, I think, was $120 that I've got. So, and then we got the laptop. So we just probably need a tripod or something like that to set it up and actually have it face us if we wanna do this.
Okay.
I think we should, is there a spot on the website that you can be
Mhm.
streaming? Is it gonna go through Zoom or Teams, or what's it gonna do?
Probably YouTube,
YouTube,
like
okay.
you guys are doing it right now. It's an inexpensive option,
Yeah, it's free.
so,
When it works.
and it works.
When
When it works, yeah, right.
Been good,
So you
been
have
pretty
to-
reliable.
So, okay. I'll make a motion that we, start streaming our meetings, with this equipment, and we'll see how it goes. If we need more, we'll address that later.
I'll support.
Katie supports. Any discussion? All right then, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same? Okay. Start doing that at the next meeting. All right, I did not get the, community program from the attorney. She was gonna try to get it to me today, but didn't get back to it. Obviously didn't get it to me by the time I got here, so. I don't have anything for that right now. Marv Township Equalization Services.
Yeah, hopefully you looked at my information. I called around, I called some treasurers and found out that this is not universal. The letter of agreement is the one from 2021, and then you had this month and last month the charges and the breakdown. And Charlevoix County does not charge their townships for this service. Our county receives, I believe, 5 mills from our residents, and they receive services that we give. Katie collects all the taxes and distributes them to them and does a significant amount of tax work. And my analysis of it was that these services are necessary. Somebody has to do them, and it works for the county to do them. But being as the county gets more revenue for it than we do, I think it's proper that we, pass a resolution saying that we think they should provide this service for us because of the services we get and the money they get from our people. I guess that's in a nutshell. So I would propose the resolution that I wrote to try and ask them, as far as I could tell, 2021 was the first time they did this. This is a new thing that happened then. It wasn't charged before that.
Oh, it was more. No,
Oh.
we've been paying this for decades. It used to be 12308, used to be $123. When Bob was the equalization director, it was more, and he said we would get charged for every keystroke when there would be, you know, address changes, whatever. It was more 20 years ago than it is now. So I see what you're saying, you would like it for free. I don't know the whole budget of the county to say whether that's feasible too, but no, we've always paid it. We renegotiated in 2021 and it went down.
Hmm.
So it went from 123 to like $83 a month. So these are the things that the county provides, like the L4029, that form you get, you would have to do all that work yourself, all that heavy rollback, all that millage fraction reduction stuff, you would have to do that if the county didn't do it. Tax map, maintenance, generate tax bill data, verifying, it's another set of eyes looking at all those. PRE denials, totals for millage rates, audit deed changes, state tax commission form, the tax map maintenance, the GIS parcel lines, monthly download of building permits, aerial imagery, all that stuff is $47 a parcel. Or 47 cents a parcel, I'm sorry. So for us, that ends up being like $83 a month.
We pay it annually though, right?
No, yeah, we pay it monthly. No, we pay it monthly. But no, it's not new. It was around, I went to meetings where we tried to negotiate it down, and we did. There, all the township officials would go, so I think the supervisor and treasurer, and we went to meetings with Pete Garwood, and we brought that number down. So yeah, ideally, we wouldn't have to pay for it, but again, I'm not sure the bottom line of the county.
So, yeah, I
They
agree.
could eat that
You know, I agree
17,000.
that all these services need to be accomplished.
Right.
I do wonder a little bit if we bring this up now, whereas you noticed in 2021, it was 47 cents a parcel. And today it's 47 cents a parcel, so we are getting a better deal today with inflation than we were in 2021. Maybe it isn't a good time to bring it up. Maybe we need to bring it up, save it and bring it up when they try to raise the rates on us. But it seems to me to be equitable, they should provide that service.
And I don't know enough about Charlevoix County to know if they charge their townships for something else, but don't charge them for this. I don't know. They might have a higher, revenue stream too, I don't know.
Well, to be honest with you.
I think,
When
I
talked to
suspect.
Charlotte,
This is brand new information.
Charlevoix County Treasurer was like, oh, maybe we should be charging our townships for this.
Now Marv,
Yeah.
wait a minute.
Oh,
Now
we're
you
getting the phone
started
calls now.
something.
Uh-huh.
Now they're all gonna get bills.
I look at this list, I understand where you're coming from, Marv, also entirely, but I look at this list of stuff we get for $80, and I'm like, that would take a lot of time.
I don't even know how to do that, to have they roll back for the L4029s. That would be quite a millage fraction reduction, so that's.
No, we don't wanna do it.
No, we're just asking them to do.
No. Katie, I think you misread this, Katie. The L4029 for the township supervisor. So,
Yeah.
That's my
you don't
concern,
even have to
because
worry about it.
I'm emailing the bills out, and if the bills are wrong, that's my neck up, on the chopping block.
I don't wanna learn how to do that.
No, it's very complex.
Yeah, I appreciate where you're going with this, Marv,
I don't want more work.
but I don't wanna take that on. And maybe that's me being nervous and scared, I'll take it.
Well, it's not a hill I wanna die on, but it seems to me like.
It's something
doing
to
great.
consider, and if they do raise the price, then maybe we definitely need to analyze that, but like you said, we're getting a better deal now
Then we
than we
were.
did before, and now we're doing
Just
better than we
remember,
did in 21, like you said, on inflation, so.
It was 12308, that was the monthly charge, and that was in the
appreciate it, I just think it's our duty to keep
Look to save
monitoring
money,
our
yeah.
costs.
Yeah,
and if
I
we-
agree.
So we have to approve, on that note, we have to approve the new, because we didn't do that at the last meeting,
Oh, you're right, we did.
Right.
but I don't have that on me. Does anyone else remember? I
Well,
can get it if I
same
need to.
price, but yeah, we have to, you gotta grab it, I looked at it for sure.
That's right here.
It's the same agreement, I think.
Yeah, it says right here, in the agreement, after the initial 2-year term, the agreement will automatically
Okay.
renew on June 1st of every year,
Yeah.
unless we
True.
provide a notice in writing.
Yeah,
Okay.
so maybe we don't have to approve it.
But
But
we
we
do
do have to
Well, we have to
approve.
We have to approve it with the amount that,
Okay.
with the same amount.
Well, it's 47 cents, right?
Yeah.
Well, this is what we got, isn't this what we got this time?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
we
the
have to
same.
approve it.
We just don't have in front of us the email that Alex got asking us to approve it.
I move that we approve that agreement to continue that relationship with the county for those services.
Okay.
For 47 cents a parcel.
Yep.
Support.
Motion support, any further discussion? All in favor, say aye. Opposed, same. Okay. All right, on to the budget. Anybody need a break?
No.
I'm gonna go grab a lunch.
Yes.
You're right for
Okay,
it.
then.
Yeah.
5 minutes, back at 8.
5 minutes. Do we want to,
We've got 20 minutes to get through this.
do we want to move anything, so that's what?
It is better. Yes. We do have a new tax rate and it's better, cause it's segregate. It is better.
I can still see them.
You guys good? All right, we're back. Let's, start on the, budget. So I emailed this to you guys in December. So the ones you have in your packet here,
So there's two,
Are the
this is
same.
the actual.
this is what we've had actual thus far.
Yeah.
Okay. And then we've got budgets here. So
What's actual?
this one right here, general fund.
That is a copy of, that in your hand, the end column, that is all the pay that like our pay, the different boards, go all the way to the left. I highlighted it, but didn't give you guys a highlighted copy. See, Marv,
Okay.
that's the current pay for all the different positions. Except there's no roads committee, so you can cross that off.
Okay, so, yeah, you guys got what I've got, or what I've offered up. This is my first stab at it, so if you need me to break down anything, I will be glad to do so. Property taxes, I don't have the number, obviously, until I get more information on what the, rate would be, and, what the taxable value does after board of review, but this is our first guess at what it might be based on last year. So, yeah, cause you got the rollback, that's why it's actually a little bit less than last year's budgeted amount. You got your personal property taxes that budgeted, and the property tax assessment fee of $42,000, which I don't know where we're at right now with that.
That sounds right, that means we levy $4.2 million in taxes.
Okay.
You asked where we're at for the PTA?
Yeah, it's
We're at
29,000.
Yeah, 29,000, 92,72.
I don't know about the dog license, I think it's not looking good.
There are no dogs in this township.
There are no dogs.
It's a Jedi mind trick.
And this is for March 31, is that the
This would-
fiscal year?
Yes,
Yeah.
fiscal year March 31st. So we've got 3 zoning hearings, so we've got 1,200 income on that, we just budgeted for 1 a year. Permit fees, parcel division fees, I didn't change any of that stuff. The state revenue sharing, I don't think that was up yet, when I looked at the website. So I just had the same amount in as last year. That'll probably, I don't know, cause there's some up in the air whether or not that's gonna go up or down based on, remember that, big scary email that went out a couple months ago that you weren't gonna get any of this, and now that's.
That was
been
constitutional or, yeah, or
rectified.
statutory or whatever, or vice versa.
So anyway, I left that in there, and, everything else pretty much stayed the same, other than South Arm going up a little bit for inflationary reasons, same thing with the cell tower. Puts us at about 467,000 in revenue.
What about Norwood Township Fire Protection? How come I don't see that?
It's only in the fire fund, I think.
That makes sense.
Yep, there it is. Cause South Arm is rescue.
Yeah.
That's why it's in here.
Yeah.
So any thoughts, comments, concerns about, the income side?
Yeah, so do we have to record that 11,000 in for Beckett and Rager? Is that gotta be in there?
You're
too?
right, well,
I mean, it's gonna be a flush through, but
it would
it's
depend on
gotta
if
be
it's
in
gonna,
there.
if they're gonna be done by March 31, then it would be in this fiscal year.
We got it. We had
Oh,
the
we already
money,
had it.
we
We
have
have the
income,
money.
the check is in the bank. 11,000 went in the bank.
Yeah, you're right,
Yeah, so
thank
we'll
you.
just have to add that.
Well, that would be on this year.
Oh, that'd be on this year, you're right, never
It's
mind.
under grants on the other one.
Yeah, grant proceeds here would be $11,000.
Okay. Well, I don't expect us getting any grants this year in 2026.
I don't know, I use the St. Clair boat launch. I have no motivation to go try and get one from the DNR for that boat launch. That thing is awful.
I wanna try and get a grant for headstones. In Elber Cemetery alone, there is over 100 graves that have markers from the funeral homes, but no, even just a simple headstone, they have nothing, and some of them go back to the, like, 1940s. And they're falling apart, so then some of them are, like, turning into, just like, they put a rock there now. So I went through just Ellsworth and wrote down all the names, and
Wow.
I've been trying to find a grant for,
I don't know.
We're not gonna budget
Yeah.
for it though.
yeah, no, it'd be way too much,
I
but
got-
if I could
I got a
find,
plan on it.
I had yet to find one.
Okay, well, if we're good with that, we'll move on to the expenditure side, which is obviously the more entertaining side. Let's see, so I did a 3% increase on, salaries across the board, just for inflationary purposes.
That'll
which-
have to be its own resolution when we do that.
Yeah, well, I know, but I'm just telling you where I got these numbers from. So if we did that, that's my thought.
Okay.
Got $7,000 in for the trustees, we don't have any board training, I'm happy to put something in there and add to it,
That would be
so that we can go
for,
do stuff.
just trustees.
Oh, that's just for the trustees?
It's just trustees,
Oh, yeah, I got my own, and you've got your own.
yep, and
right?
Katie has her own.
Okay.
Yeah, and the resort has the, annual
Was it,
convention
was it
conference.
300, was it 150 a piece or something like that to go to that? Well, the one we had last, a year ago, in January.
There's one in January that goes from like January to March, that's about 150 a piece. There's the one in March in Grand Traverse, the big one, which is about 350.
That's in April, isn't it?
April, yes.
April.
It's right the day after our meeting.
The one in October through MTA is the one that is specific to each,
The retreat.
yes. That one was amazing. And I signed up, actually, Dave, I can share it with you once the class happens, I can give you my login, for a class on the 21st. Like Wednesday. It's a live, I'm gonna do, it's just a live stream. So once it, and then it'll be recorded, and then since I paid for it, or the township paid for it, I can share it. It is called Not in My Backyard. Yep, so, because remember it was $25 and I signed up for it, it's an hour-long class about zoning.
It's MTA?
Yeah. But because I paid for it, then the board will have access to it.
And the planning commission, is there anything built in for like ZBA or planning commission training too? Do we have that anywhere that we offer?
I think I put
Where
it
do we
in there.
budget that?
It would be under the planning commission, I think I put it in there, I had to add all the new categories. So if I missed that one,
I was looking under zoning and planning.
it would be there. I can
Would-
add
Would
it.
it be under, yeah, cause I want them to know too that it's always a possibility that they have to, you know,
Yeah,
you budget for
absolutely.
it,
Yeah.
so.
So it just got mixed.
Oh, okay.
I
Okay,
added,
didn't see
so
it.
anything that says zero, anything that says zero on here is a subcategory that I added.
Gotcha.
So if there's something that you don't think we need, you guys can say. If there's something you think I missed, I can add most anything. I was trying to make, cause we had,
Yeah, let's get rid of breezeway, let's put breezeway grant, let's hide that category, cause
we can
that
hide
was
that.
like 15 years ago, we haven't done anything.
A lot of
with it.
stuff on here I can hide. I can hide. I
Yeah,
shouldn't say
hide
a lot.
that,
I can hide anything.
yeah, it's under income.
Okay.
This one right here?
Yeah,
okay.
I can hide that.
Sure, done.
And so,
Sure, done.
okay, so then I'm thinking too, like all the
Okay.
elections, are we not getting
Actually,
reimbursed for them?
So we do,
Screw that up.
sometimes. So this last one, we did not. We were not, we asked the county, the state was not going, because it was a county election, everyone was responsible for paying their own things, the county reimbursed nothing. The May election, the schools will reimburse for,
Mm-hmm.
and then the August and November, I have to apply for the reimbursement.
Well, if the ambulance authority is on the May ballot, will the school have to pay for it?
No, they have to pay for their own. It gets split.
It'll get split between the ambulance authority and.
And we will have, the ISD is supposed to have something on there, and then Ellsworth School.
Yeah.
Alright, just wanna hammer through, do you guys wanna put a budget in there for training for 2 of you?
And those are usually like, what, $60 a class maybe?
If they
So
do
put
the,
like $300.
I guess I'm asking, do you wanna do the bigger ones, like the retreat thing down to Brandon Booth?
Do we need it in the budget if
yes,
we would
Yes.
decide later to try and do it?
yes.
Yes, cause then we'll have to
Well, otherwise
make all
you
these
have to,
amendments.
Yes.
Otherwise, you have to
Amendments.
amend the budget.
Yeah, and if you don't use it, you don't use it, but at least
Yeah.
it's there.
Put $700 in there, that would cover a whole bunch of training for you guys.
I don't anticipate, I mean,
Spending
I've
that
gone
much?
to a couple, and so I don't
Yeah.
anticipate wanting to go to more.
Okay,
Yeah, I might look at the one in Harrison.
okay, I'm gonna put
Definitely
$300
will go in
in there.
October.
I'll put $300 in there, just so we have something to,
Okay.
Okay.
is that enough to cover the Traverse City?
No.
No, 450.
450? Okay.
Plus this food,
Food is included.
okay.
Oh, mileage went up, it's 73 cents a mile now, so.
Oh, yeah, behind it.
Printing and publishing
Yeah,
is
that's for
added a
15
little
years.
bit for inflationary reasons, miscellaneous expense and dues. Stay stagnant, officer expenses, $2,000, yeah, supervisor salary at 25. That would come with a resolution, so we'll see what comes up with that. Deputy supervisor, we got $800 in there, haven't spent any of
I
it.
didn't give you any, I didn't give you a training category.
No, I guess not.
Are you gonna do?
Yeah, I mean, I'd be good with budgeting,
So it'll be one,
500
it'll
bucks
be
for it.
the 101, 173,
101, 173, okay.
17300 dash cable.
Here. 101,
720,
720,
yep, 173, 720,
okay. There's nothing in there yet, but we'll,
or yeah, 171.
well, throw $500 in there in case I go to one of those things, if that's all right.
Yeah, don't we, like the assessor for printing, shouldn't that be like $2,000?
It's never gone through, that's a new one, it's never gone through him before,
What?
the printing. It goes through you or I.
Yeah, cause the assessment
Yeah,
change
so-
services
yeah,
will
so
come
we
out
should
soon,
change
he'll
that. That's
bill
fine.
us,
We can
he'll
put
bill
that-
us for that, and he'll bill for the land divisions too for the year.
That's what I mean, it's always gone through,
So
It should be
$2,000?
for him, $2,000.
Okay, not 20, got it. Miscellaneous expenses. Use 615 through,
I added that category for him too.
through the end of November, I guess. we have a primary and a general state, so I bumped that up to 7,000.
And we have to do early voting in August and November,
Okay,
mandatory, and there is no more shared precincts either, combined precincts.
okay. All right,
What did it cost for the early voting when it was combined?
Half, it was half.
What? How much?
We'd have to go back and look. Well, we can't see that, we don't go back to 2024.
yeah, I don't know if I have.
The other,
24, okay, 24 or 25 actual.
It was 10 days of having to pay a couple people all day.
the other precincts have new clerks and decided they were not doing combined precincts, and it wasn't worth it for them.
Okay,
So,
So now we're stuck with it.
Every township's gonna do it, yeah.
so maybe 8.
And which ones were we in with before?
Torch,
And
I believe she was Torch.
Just
Torch is-
Torchland.
Yeah.
So we used our facility.
so do we wanna, I mean, I don't know how many people used it, but
I'm meeting-
do we wanna try and combine with maybe Central Lake or something?
I could let you know after Wednesday, all the clerks are meeting.
It seems like that's a significant expense that
I can let you know after Wednesday.
pretty low use and could combine it.
I could see,
I got 7,000 in there, I think that'll cover it, but I don't know for sure. You can go higher if you,
For how many elections?
3,
it's 3.
Ooh, I
I don't think
Maybe
it's
we can.
enough,
10.
because we had 2 this year,
Don't give me,
and we are
just a
at,
budget. It's our,
what
it's our goal.
account is elections, what number? Oh wait, I can just, 191. This year we had 3 and we're at 36. Or we had 2 and we're at 36, but that's no early voting, that's just day of,
Mhm.
and they were smaller. So,
Yeah, plus you, this thing is expenses, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so, okay.
okay, so on the miscellaneous expenses for elections, I also found out, and this would be, cause you'd know more about this, we can't supply food. So I was told that supplying food after the fact, that I went to a training, I was told after the fact that supplying food to election workers is not a lawful expenditure. And then there was a huge discussion on it on the MTA website, and it said that clerks are encouraged to tell their election workers to make it a potluck and bring food, because if I supply food, that food has to be available to anyone who walks in this building. That's how we're supposed to supply food.
That makes
So,
sense. Same thing with border review then.
Yeah, yeah.
No more sushi.
No more contactless sushi.
Yep.
right down to the water, and they said you can't stop people from having breaks and stuff like that.
Sure.
But
I think we can make all the food,
you can make it
you
here.
can make it all
have, like,
public
a-
at border review, cause nobody's ever there.
You could have something like a veggie tray or charcuterie board or whatever, you could have that one,
Yeah, you
that
could
would
do
be
that.
open to the
Yeah,
public too,
everybody would have
right,
it.
you could if that's necessary, it might not even be necessary, yeah.
Right.
But again, I see that, yeah, because it's specifically, it's like buying coffee for you to drink all day, we can't do that either.
We
right?
can't do that. So like for both elections for coffee, I brought the coffee in. I brought the coffee in, people brought their own cups, I made a pot of coffee, whoever wanted could have the coffee. And I bought a case of water, and that way there was water here. So, but I learned that after the fact, that we're actually not.
So just make sure that's clear for workers too, that, you know.
They have to bring a
The
lunch
township
tray.
could purchase beverages to have available for, it would be for voters and workers,
Yes.
anyone that walks in the door.
Yes, they would have to sit out here, so if you walked in to vote and you're like, oh, I'm thirsty, you get to grab a bottle of water.
Yeah. So then what's the miscellaneous? Printing? What's the
Yes, miscellaneous is printing, did I not change that? For elections? that needs to be printing on here for elections. Miscellaneous is also, which we can change the category. Oh, the supplies. Everything was always dumped into that. So that's why I said some stuff I missed. It was a lot to go through and change. So all of the, not the ballots, but all of the envelopes and everything that are gonna go out.
All the postage.
All the postage, everything.
That
And-
could be very expensive.
And Election Source just changed it, and they are doing, they are letting us use, or not Election Source, between Election Source and the state changed it, and they're letting us use up whatever we have on hand that has the postage paid, but they're gonna do it differently, so that's going to change. And then the other thing that we have to include, and I don't know if it'll be probably in this year's budget, is, in 2023, a letter was sent out canceling the application to vote list. Okay, I found a copy of it. So, it was sent out to say, we're no longer sending you this application once a year to be a absentee voter. If you wanna do it, these are the places you can do it, but I'm sending you the ballot one more time. Somehow it got missed and not deleted from the PDF. So I have to send it again. So I asked KCI for an estimate, because they can send the application with, because along with sending the application, we have to send a return, a stamped, self-addressed envelope. So, KCI has not gotten me an estimate on that, so there was 118 names on the list that would receive another letter and the last application, which will have all 3 elections on it for this year.
So you said 118?
Yes.
It probably won't be cheap to go through KCI, because they're probably gonna charge you $500 just for the letter. So it might be cheaper to just have them done like Jordan Valley Printing or something, just have them printed
Well,
on a
so that was
postcard
my
or
other
something.
question, so I
On a
can get,
postcard, yeah.
I don't even have, I can print the letter myself.
Mm-hmm.
It's the applications. I can order more applications from Election Source and more envelopes from Election Source, and then just send everything out myself if it's cheaper to do it that way. That's why I wanted an estimate from
Yeah.
them. What is your charge here, and then what is the charge here, and what is the best?
So is the printing, you think, good enough, 4,000, or is it gonna need to be higher?
I would think that that would be enough. Did you change under elections that,
Which one?
well, we'll have to add a printing category. Right now it's just miscellaneous expenses and dues.
Or are you just renaming that?
Or you could rename that, but we still have like to buy stamps.
Printing and postage, would that cover it? If you just say printing and postage?
It can only, I can't change it to postage, I can only do the printing, they're preset. We can just change it
Printing
to,
and publishing up here, under the township board, so theoretically, you should be able to meet that.
it's a different, that's so you have to decide if you're gonna do it to 720 or 900. We can do it to the 900, so it's printing and publishing.
Oh, I got you, okay. And you're saying we don't need miscellaneous
No.
expense and dues?
Not
then?
if we put it all underneath there. Cause that's all I'm getting is the supplies and this, like the stamps, pens. Although I do have to buy pens, markers.
And 20, you said? You want that to be 4,000?
Yeah. Is the 900. Not 920, 900.
Okay.
And where's Snow Valley? Is it put under yard
Yard.
maintenance or building maintenance?
I put it under yard.
What are we doing? We're done now?
Well, we didn't do treasure.
Snow plowing.
But you gotta go, we didn't do,
We haven't even got the clerk yet.
I just need to add, the health insurance premium can come off.
Mm-hmm.
You can delete that category and then add
Okay.
training.
What number is that? How much training? 720?
Yeah.
much?
I don't know, what'd you give yourself?
I could put 500 on it.
700 for training?
500 is what I put down, but yeah,
Do 7.
700. Sounds good.
Right now, it's all dumped into miscellaneous.
So theoretically, that would drop down to 2,100.
Yes.
If the same amount was budgeted, you know, last
Yes.
year.
I thought I added. Oh, I did put it on mine. You don't have it on yours. So I added training and I added printing on mine.
That's 900.
Yeah. And then, so
Printing for
900
elections or for clerk?
clerk. And then I also added, office supplies.
How much do we use for the printing?
900.
Oh, that's the.
That's the account number.
Oh, account, sorry.
I don't know,
Okay.
cause the postcards come, I put under the board.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would think that wouldn't be very much, but.
I wouldn't think so, and I wasn't even sure, but I said, I added it just as a, do we need it? I have some on mine that are not on yours. And then I also added office supplies, cause again, right now, everything is just dumped in the
What number is
miscellaneous.
that?
Office supplies is 954. I did add training in here for you. And I put printing in, so I put printing and publishing under, oh no, I put that under the assessor.
Okay, what do you want for office supplies then?
Well, you can knock more off of the miscellaneous. So, right now in miscellaneous,
$500?
I think that'd be more than enough, cause right now miscellaneous, I've spent 1,800, but that is all training and office supplies, and anything else done in there,
Okay. You want 250 in printing?
yeah.
Okay.
So we did the audit this year, so we
Yep,
won't
that
have
should be
one
enough
this year.
yeah.
So we shouldn't have any, well, no, we'll have to file the, L-49 with the UHY, not the L-49,
941, 940.
no, I filed those,
SSA.
what do I file?
I know what you mean, it's like an annual
Yeah,
financial report and the filing of the taxes.
that's on this one is.
Yeah,
on
but
this
we'll
one.
need to do it every year, right?
Oh, yeah, so it's 700 for the filing of the taxes,
Yep.
and then there's a financial filing,
It's not FE 265 or something, is it?
something like that. I think it's, you get the 265, so, but I don't remember how much we paid for that.
Probably about 350.
Put 400 in, that makes it 1,100.
Okay.
Should be enough room. And Board of Review salaries, I think it's been quite a, it's been like at least 5 years since they're.
Yeah, I give you that. This is easier if you wanna see, 'cause it's highlighted.
Yeah, that's fine. Anyway, I bumped that up $100, to maybe adjust their salaries, we can talk about that. Okay, miscellaneous expenses,
I didn't change anything there.
nope, treasurer's salary, 3%, like I said,
I did training for the treasurer in case she wants to go training.
you added that one. What number is that?
How much?
720. Well, I didn't give you any money yet.
Oh, yeah, give me your money.
I just gave you a
Give me
category.
450, give me 450.
She
Give
would
me
like-
500,
Okay.
give me 500.
Yeah, I just gave her the category.
There's a lot of stuff at, the conference this year about data centers and all kinds of really good issues.
You wanted 450?
Yeah, and that's what I looked at for registration.
I also gave the treasurer office supplies at 954.
Cause what is my miscellaneous? Is that-
2,000.
But what is that? Is that my postage?
That's
and-
everything. So,
Okay.
printing, you have printing and publishing is separate, so you
Mhm.
just have your salary, your deputy, printing and publishing, and miscellaneous. So, postage I've been dumping in miscellaneous,
Mhm.
so for miscellaneous so far, you've spent 16. Or 11, 1165. So I had to pull, I did forget what we originally budgeted for, but I had to move some to cover some of your printing for the taxes, cause that went up.
Yeah.
What did you
that's-
budget for printing?
3,800.
So this year, so far, we've spent $37.28 for printing.
Okay, we have much more to go out?
Are you printing?
No,
anything?
it's, I'm not sending any more tax bills, no.
So I'm just,
a-
it's
What it
$38.
costs twice a year, yeah.
But is 38 enough is my question.
I'd say, you know, 4,000.
4,000, bump it up a little more.
Yeah.
Cause if KCI raises their prices
Sure.
$75 here and there.
Do you need any for office supplies?
Mm.
Okay, printer paper or anything?
I get printers, I mean,
Oh, okay.
No, I mean to pull it from, instead of having miscellaneous and then you have, so I'll put it into a office supplies category. Data processing is the county.
Oh, okay. Is that the 47 cent?
Yeah, so that's actually has to go up because they told us how much it's gonna be.
It'd be 83 times 12, right?
data says
Says
some
on
amount,
there
isn't it?
1,000.
Oh.
I did.
1,000.
We should all have that right in front of us.
1,063.
1,063.
$1,000.63.
No, 84 times 12.
That's what the paper says.
Oh, $1,000.63.
That's what I just said.
1,063 is $1,000, $1,000.
I said $1,000.63.
No, well, I'm sorry. In case they screw something up, I'll put $9 extra in there.
That's,
All right, computers and equipment, I don't know.
so,
Told you how much those two things cost, so.
well, hold on, computers, so 726 is actually, wait a minute, what's the, what counter, what number are you looking at? Cause these are different.
25900.
Okay, so 25900. So 803 is,
Is that BSNA?
BSNA and Banyan.
Okay, well, let me,
So seven,
no, let me put that in here as a comment, so I know that for next year. BSNA.
and Banyan. that's 803. 804 is Strange Security.
Okay.
950 is just website and internet.
Okay, that makes sense. Okay,
So the computer one was, that's extra.
that's actually equipment.
Like if we needed supplies, like
Mhm.
for, so,
Printer.
yeah,
Mouse.
yeah. Yes,
A microphone.
yes.
So, yeah, I mean, that's fine, unless
No, 1,000 would be fine.
1,005, we need to do an amendment later, we will if we wanna buy something different. Okay, sounds good to me. Maintenance support agreement, okay, I had that wrong in there. $2,400 in there for strange security, and then the maintenance, oh, that's just like how much help we need.
For, where? For the strange,
It's not the contract, it's like his hourly rate.
Yeah.
Right, isn't that,
yeah,
in that field? They were at 3,400 just over halfway through the year, so I figured I'd bump it up to 6,000. It was 7,500 last year.
so we are over, and we are over budget on him right now. We've spent 2,800 and we budgeted to spend 2,000.
That's on the consultation, oh, I'm sorry, okay, I think I got this backwards.
Yeah,
Okay, so how much we spent so far?
28, and you budgeted to spend 2. Consultation repairs, you got something,
Okay, then the main.
that one's Banyan.
Oh, this is the one that's Banyan.
Yeah, that's
Okay,
Banyan.
So then that should probably stay at 7,500.
Cause
Okay, I'm
for
with it.
Banyan and BSNA, so far we've spent 63 and you budgeted for 75, so we're okay. Strange, you budgeted 2, but we spent 28. But there's a whole lot of, I had a whole lot of computer issues. The internet cable is working again. So,
Fascinating. Okay, so, yeah, we're at, what, I bumped it to 3,500.
It should be
Just to
fine.
give us enough room to work. GoDaddy contract, that's the 1,500, if we want, okay, so do we wanna look at the backups and the extra security?
For
For the
emails.
emails? For $1,000 a year?
I have Carbonite, I should see if that's backing up my emails.
It won't back up, well, unless you're downloading to your computer. If you download to your computer, Carbonite will, yes. But if you don't utilize like a on-computer system, then no, it won't, because it's all on the web.
So can, Mike provide that for us, cheaper than GoDaddy?
I don't think so, because, I mean, it's more advanced than what Mike could do,
Okay.
because it's on the back end, they're taking backups in 17 places across the
Yeah,
planet.
yeah, it's very important, it's very important. I think it's worth it. Human error, you hit delete, I mean,
yeah. Budget for it, and at least it's there. If you don't use it, you don't use it.
Put 2,500 in there, account for that.
So that's too low, the salary for township hall salaries.
Okay,
What we missed was, at the end of last year, Jerry was hourly, so he made less. Then he went back to monthly and he makes more. So that's not enough. That's all I can say is that's not enough. I don't know. So far, we've spent 6,500 on him and Jan, and we budgeted 6, and I still have February and March to pay him. And it's $650 a month.
okay.
So it didn't get changed, and that was changed, so.
Yeah, got it. That makes sense.
And then I added, so we have equipment. I don't know if we still need,
Got $3,000 budgeted for it last year.
Yard
I don't know if we
maintenance
were talking
is-
about getting some new chairs maybe, because a couple of them were broken, right? That's what,
yeah.
I just don't think we ever went through and
we need
right,
everything.
pulled the
do we
trigger
need
on it.
padded folding chairs for our audience?
No, we have shorter meetings.
Ah, good point, much cheaper.
The yard maintenance is where the snow plowing should go.
That's fine. Are we just leaving 3,000 in the equipment and furnishings right now? Is that adequate? for
Yeah.
everybody
Yeah.
Right now, okay. Yard maintenance, and we're at what, how much did he bill us for the last 2 months?
So far,
20 something?
yeah, but that's split. It did not go in general.
Well, some of it should go to the fire department.
It does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
But the
that
last
gives
2
me an
months was
idea of where
fine.
we need to be,
Yeah.
like,
We got a good couple more months to go.
$1,100 so far for November and December for the township hall. And we still have January, February, March.
November, December.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
November, December, January,
but that's
February,
next
March.
year, but yeah, for next year, so whatever we spend this year,
we budgeted, what, $650 a month, 6 months, 5 months? That'd be way too high. But,
so in 2 months, we spent 11, so January and February could be another 11.
Yeah.
March could be nothing, it could be $500.
said 3,000, that'd probably cover it. That work for you guys?
Sure.
So the mowing.
That's just for the snow plowing.
I would say
so-
mowing has to go under there too.
You know how much we spent on that this year?
I don't have it in here. 17?
100?
Uh-huh.
Alright, you can put 5,000 in it then. That'll cover both. Okay. Building maintenance, we have 3,500 in here. It was for 3,500, now it's 4,000 on mine. We spent about 3,500.
Mm-hmm. We spent, on building maintenance, $4,952.
Okay, we're five, almost, okay.
Goes to the elevator, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just costing a bunch to keep that up. Well, let's put it to maybe 6,000.
Okay, so
Mars head's
utilities,
exploding.
we're
I
too
can-
low on utilities too.
I can hear it.
We're too low on utilities
Are we?
too.
Okay.
Yeah, so we spent 6,400 and budgeted 6,000.
We spent 6,400 so far.
Yes. We need to amend that too.
Why is that so hot? What are we doing?
I don't know, because I keep the heat in my office at 60, so I
say it's not hot in here.
don't know. And that is just the hall.
So what, does that include gas and electric?
Yeah, it's gas, electric.
Well, we don't do water, right?
We don't do water. Yeah. And the, phone and the internet.
So it's communications and utilities.
Yeah, all comes out of one.
So what's our internet and,
It's roughly $80. Our portion is roughly $80 a month.
sure, okay.
I tried to get it cheaper. If
They don't do it free for municipalities or anything?
no, and if I touch it, it's gonna go up double. So I tried for the fire department to get it cheaper too, and we can't get TrueStream.
All right, miscellaneous expenses.
Wait.
What?
I added more to that,
To what?
to the township hall. So,
Oh.
you can
More
tell me
things.
no, I added flags. You can go to miscellaneous if you wanted.
That's fine, throw it in miscellaneous.
Okay, that's it for the hall.
Okay.
Then we have the historical society,
Building well, hold
that's, the
hold on.
historical society is next.
What?
No.
Oh,
That's the bank building.
That's the
four
bank
more from
building.
here.
oh,
Do we have any improvements that we can think of we wanna do in here? We just did the kitchen, I think everything's pretty well up to date, except unless we wanna do anything upstairs.
Maybe if we, I made a phone call to the guy about sound, maybe we wanna do sound stuff upstairs, I don't know.
Okay.
why do you have two township hall utilities?
I don't know, good question. 921 and, well, they're both in here.
Well, public
Well,
utilities and utilities.
one's 266 and one's 265.
Township hall and township hall.
Yeah,
They're
but they're not two
They're
on,
not labeled right. no.
they're not two on my sheet here. If you look at the numbers, they're different. This
Oh, you
is,
got it.
No, I
It's
don't.
there. Yeah, it is 265, 921, and 266, 921. They're both there. One says public, well, they both say public utilities
One says utilities and the other public utilities.
on this sheet, but on one of Julie's,
Oh.
they're both labeled public.
no, one is, where are you seeing two on my other sheet?
One's in yellow,
Yep, right there,
And then
and.
one
This
right
is the
there.
bank building.
Okay.
This is, the bottom one is the bank building on my sheet. 266 is the bank building.
That's fine. No, it just shouldn't say all there.
Okay, I
Got
didn't
it.
see the,
You mean, oh, there's two different.
the 266 is the historical society. 265 is the township hall.
So it needs to say,
We're spending 6,000 on.
No, we're not.
it says $250.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's way too high. I don't know how that.
So we
got
need to
put
say
in there.
the historical BTHS.
Yeah.
So maybe $400 bucks.
We've
Utilities,
spent
take public off
339
there.
so far on the historical building.
350?
339. If you do 350, I think you'll be good.
Yeah, cause there shouldn't be anything. for the-
No.
Not much in there. 350? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you gotta have just to have it on is probably $45 a month, right, the
No.
electricity?
Their electric bill a month
Yeah.
is typically like $19.
Oh, okay. That seems
Their
perfect.
bill this month was 8 cents.
Delightful.
They're not on Great Lakes, so they don't have that.
Oh, the
fee.
monthly fee, okay, just how much you use,
Yeah.
okay, what is, this next one, below that, miscellaneous expenses, I think, for the bank building.
Township
955.
buildings, bank building, it says.
Okay,
Yeah.
so we've only
I'm
ever
gonna
had,
change the label on that, Richard.
so it was building expenses, and it's supposed to be 920? Do you not have that?
Nope.
Okay, so if you wanted, if you wanna do it, one for building expenses for the, cause there's like the furnace that has to be replaced and stuff.
Okay, 10126, 266,
00.
920,
No, yeah, 920.
okay.
And then if you, there's a little piece of yard there that has to be mowed, if you want me to break that up.
Gosh, I am not.
Okay. I'm just offering it up,
I appreciate it.
okay?
I wanna put both of those at zero and sell that building,
No, we'd sell back to us, and
sell it to the, historical society.
they have no money.
They don't need any money, sell it for $1.
Well,
We'd save
The
ourselves.
public will buy it for $1, I'll buy it for $1.
No, not the public, we gotta save the historical society. All of that.
That's,
What'd you call this? Build something, building
I
something?
did,
Maybe we can sell it to the public and put it
Building
up for
maintenance.
bids, and we get the opposite, we get something out of it.
Yeah.
so previously, everything was just dumped into miscellaneous expenses.
So, 350 there, and.
You don't need the miscellaneous at 2,000.
Well,
You could
the
do,
furnace is on its way out, is that right?
yeah. So maybe you don't need that.
Yeah, you're not gonna get anything from us.
4,000 in it for now, just see what, we come back to that. Zero in the miscellaneous.
Yeah.
We should just-
You don't need cemetery salary.
Oh, it's 955, it used to say bank building.
Oh,
I'm trying to clean these labels up.
You can get rid of cemetery salary. Still need it.
Let's just leave it as zero.
Why can't you take it off when you roll it?
Cause then I gotta add it back if you decide you wanna get paid for it. Someday down the road, or somebody else wants to get paid for it.
So equipment and supplies is, we spent $400.
Okay.
That's flags. So even if, and we're pretty good on flags for the cemetery, so even if you just wanted to do 1,000.
Okay. 1,000. Got it.
That's Brian Dara. So Brian was, 15,000 this year, the way his contract was split.
Yeah, how did you do that before?
It was,
So you have the
split
whole,
between
the whole
three.
contract, you have 20% of that going here,
Yeah, and then to the fire.
and,
So I think you had,
I'd throw his number in here that he just offered us. So we know it's not gonna be more than that,
27,362,
right?
right. Well, sometimes it's, that's for the miscellaneous.
That's the contract, yeah, we're talking just the
Yeah, the
contract.
contract, no. So his
Rules of planning commissions, wages, maybe we wanna look at that as well, those haven't budged in at least 5 years either. Right now, we have it, we may not have it by the second half of the year, so, we'll just have to see what comes. What's that?
Yeah, since at least 2005, I think we're down here, 21. They have had the same prices.
that's $60 per meeting.
Yeah, the
Since
chair is
2019,
on it.
it's been that price. So, it's been
Given-
60 and 100.
Yeah, we should probably bump that up, given the inflation that's happened in the last 5 years. And everything else.
Does anyone have any ideas? They can take all the pressure the chair has.
Okay.
Does that include the ZBA, that includes the ZBA and the board review, does it not?
Not board of review.
But the ZBA it does.
yeah.
So the ZBA too is the same thing, it is, the 60 and the 110 since 2019, so do you wanna do the same thing?
I'm good with that,
Okay.
if everybody else is. So we'll plan for that, we'll do the resolution and change all that
We
stuff.
will, and then we'll have to vote on it. Well, that is, never mind, disregard that. I'll make it over here. He said 75 and 150.
Yeah.
And then you talked about changing it, we didn't get to board review yet, though.
For ZBA only, it's like a
As-
couple times a year maybe.
Yeah.
If we did, it's $6,000 for them, and what's the,
Hmm.
so we, yeah, that should cover it. 31, call it 31,000, just to make an even number.
Yeah.
But that should cover those adjustments that we were just discussing.
Okay.
Where are we at with Beckett and Rader contractuals? We had 9, and now we're over that, I think.
Hold on, I have to. We have spent 8,731. We're not.
No, we're not, not yet. I don't know where they're at in their billings, but anyway, I put 14,000 in here. We can
They're
lower
actually
it if you
up
want
to
me
date.
Are they? Okay.
Yeah,
We can lower that number.
just leave it.
Leave it at 14 for the moment.
Oh, it's this one. Yeah, we have no idea what it's gonna be.
Miscellaneous, who knows, printing and publishing,
So that's all, yeah, printing, yeah. Cleanup day is so we were a little, we had to add money to that this year.
yes, we did. So we had budgeted 21,000 and we were pretty close to that on a spend.
Yeah,
So, so I don't know if we wanna do tires, 'cause so far the state hasn't put anything out about a grant. So anyway, if we wanna add tire, this is just for the cleanup portion. And if we wanna add tires, we'll have to add to it. There'll be $3,000 for a trailer of passenger tires, and then I imagine it'll be the same, $1.50 per rim inch for ag and semi tires. So I don't have anything here for tires right now, cause we've been doing it for many years and
Got them all cleaned up, right?
I'm not gonna say that. No, I absolutely, but. No, they're not. So we can, that's fine, if we wanna pay for it, out of the township funds, it's fine with me, it's a good service, to try to keep them coming, keep them cleaning up. But don't count on the state grant to cover the passenger tires, is all I'm telling you, cause they turned us down last year.
Why?
I think they had changed their criteria, but one of them was the lack of, like, we weren't collaborating with somebody, we just do it on one day. I don't wanna be in charge of running a tire cleanup facility for a whole year, I'm pretty sure. And so the list of entities that got that grant went down tremendously this year. Maybe they'll say, well, you didn't get it last year, so this year you do, I don't know. But they haven't even started asking for for applications yet.
Well, I would say if we're gonna do township cleanup, we should do tires with it, that's my opinion.
we have a lot of people who break tires,
Okay,
a lot.
or do we wanna budget for both passenger and ag? Or just passenger? Cost us about $1,000 I think
Does
last
it
year.
go by truckload? It goes by, if you send half a truckload, it's a lot cheaper than the whole truckload?
If you send it doesn't matter how many tires are in it, if passenger tires, if it's in the truck, it's $3,000. If it's bigger, then if it's the bigger tires, then they add on to it, even if they're in the same trailer as the,
Wasn't it per inch?
it's
per inch.
per rim inch, yeah. So a 14-inch tire, tractor tire would be $21, give it, looks like a front tire on a relatively compact tractor. So anyway, you wanna add $4,000 to that?
That's just for tires and, GFL.
Yes.
What about Dylan and Larry? Where does that go?
I think we put them under miscellaneous.
So should we do a salary versus miscellaneous, and then for like the volunteers and put those all under one? Or do you want me just to keep putting it under miscellaneous?
I don't care too much, I mean, if it helps, that's fine, we can split it out.
I'm just asking.
Yeah, I know, it doesn't I'm saying it doesn't matter to me, if it matters to somebody else here, that's fine.
And we'll just keep it.
And if you want me again, that's it.
Yep, if we go that, we can try to go that route again.
That's actually benefited us.
I think it was better for the township overall,
It
if you
was.
guys haul it and over to J&J's, if they'll be open. You know, last time it was Dylan managed to get a hold of them and had him come open up, but if he knows it ahead of time, he probably would do that deal.
Mhm.
So,
Which you would have to get a hold of Pat knows then and let him know we're not using him.
yeah, that won't be a problem. That won't be a problem.
So what's the status of the scrap then?
Well, we did well sending it to J&J's last year, having Marv and, Dylan haul it in their dump
Yeah.
trailers and dump truck.
We had three vehicles going all day.
He had 2 of your trailers and
Yeah.
his dump truck.
Yeah.
Yeah. That seemed to work pretty well. So, okay, well, that's a reduction to our costs, or for the most part, it nets out to be a reduction to our costs.
So the scrap is in the income or the?
I think, I don't know if we put it in here, where it went, yeah, we'd have to look in the system to find that.
Scrap is in the income,
It's on the income side, probably
Yeah.
miscellaneous, I'm guessing.
yeah.
Okay, Atwood streetlights, I got it at 1,900, same as last year.
What is that?
448-921.
Okay. Town utilities. Why am I not? Oh, did you skip rescue?
Nope, that's next, that's after that,
It's right after.
one right down the line.
Oh, I
Utilities is
see
right
it,
before
okay.
ambulance.
I was hoping you guys
We've
would just come in and say, I wanna
spent 15
change
so
this,
far.
this, and this, and we'd be done.
We've spent 15 so far, so 19's fine.
Okay, cool. FICA, Medicare, I just bumped that based on increase in wages and maybe more people joining the thing or whatever, 1,600. You know, training fees.
How come you have two of those?
Which one?
You got FICA Medicare up here and then you got 10,000 down here and 86,000.
That's for the whole, so the portion up the top one, the
Is rescue.
1,600 is just for the rescue guys.
Oh, okay.
Everything below is everything else, all the other employees we have.
So the 751 is the other part of the contractual. Keep going down, those all the numbers look fine. You're good.
Anybody have a problem with what's in the
Nope.
rescue? Okay. Parks,
Right there,
yep,
okay. That's Brian, the 751, the $5,000, the 801, sorry, contractual.
yeah, 5472, that's 20% of his contract, is
Okay,
kinda
but
what I.
this year it was $8,000.
Oh, is there stuff in this in there that's not contract?
No.
Well, we're putting too much in there then. Supposed to be 20% of the bill.
I don't remember how you had me split it now, but we gotta fix something.
Okay, well, I got it written down, so
Okay.
we can adjust that.
Okay. And then the other thing that we had to adjust.
That was just my number, by the way, if anybody wants to split it up in some other way, let me know. Okay.
Libraries went up, did you account for that?
They went up.
Yeah, you
just-
got the
Didn't
right
they go
number,
to
65
6,000?
and, yeah,
Yeah.
you got those.
Okay,
You can take Jordan Valley off.
yeah, I guess we don't do that. No, okay, that's out of there.
Um,
Recreation program,
So,
Holding steady at 3,500 right now. You get the Medicare stuff and unemployment, I don't know what that number should be at. Do you have anything going to that?
no.
Okay. Property and liability. The ad and community promo is fireworks and pig roast and the text my gov software.
You won't put text my go there?
That's where I put it.
Cause that's not enough money then. Well, I guess it could be. Does that include the,
We 2,500 on the fireworks and the pig roast?
yeah, but we also have, which is what we have to move to, the Halloween money, the $1,000. It came from general. Do you guys want it to come from fire instead? It came from general.
I don't think you can use it from fire. I'm not sure that would work.
Probably not, no.
It came
Those
from,
are restricted funds.
so you have to add another 1,000 to that.
7,500? Okay.
Yep.
Got it. NLEA,
Everything else looks good.
it's the same as previous years. And, yeah, leave us with a net movement to reserve of $4,600. 4602. Debbie Downer, I started out at 40,000. Reality's reality, right? So anyway, there's, we'll have a public hearing, we gotta set that, and then we can tweak it a little bit more if we want, so.
Where's the board of review at?
It's up here higher, right here.
Did you say you were changing their salaries?
I didn't say we were, but I did budget for a little bit
Okay.
more, yes.
Just so we remember when
Yep.
we do resolutions.
We can do those, next month, I'll prepare those and send that out, what we were thinking here.
And on here, I think we have to vote on this too. It says the PC secretary gets between $15 and $17 an hour.
Yeah,
I paid her 17, because in 2021, she got $17 an hour. And then from 22 to 25, it said 15 to 17?
I don't know what that account for, I don't have a recollection of why that was like that.
I don't know. So, I just paid her 17. Cause in 19 and 21.
Elections was on a sliding scale, looks like too. unless
No,
that's
so elections is not,
Just
elections
for the
is,
chair.
yeah,
Is
it's
it
18 for all election workers, and then the chair is $23.50.
Got it. Okay, that was fun. Anything else for the township general fund budget?
No.
Okay. Fire. Anybody have anything in particular they wanna hit on this, or do we wanna grind this out line by line? Not nearly as long, so.
The only thing for
You guys see it all
fire
right? It's a little small.
is the,
Better?
snow plowing.
Okay, put some snow plowing in on the yard maintenance.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
And I don't know where to put it right now.
Well, I think you put it in yard maintenance, that's fine.
I did, but we're over.
That's fine, we can fix that with a budget amendment, that's fine.
Everything else,
We're at 37.
yeah.
How much should we add for snow plowing next year?
Well, we're at 37 right now.
Total?
Yep. Well, that's yard maintenance,
Yeah.
so there's there is some snow plowing. There's snow plowing in there, and then,
This contract, 10%, which would be 2,500.
yeah.
So you
we're
got about 1,000 already in snow plowing for this year?
Yeah.
Okay. Put 1,200 on this thing for snow plowing, but maybe more than that, probably gonna be higher.
That's not just snow plowing though, for yard maintenance.
No, I know, it's got his $2,700
Oh.
plus the 1,500 for snow plowing.
Okay,
That work?
yeah.
Okay.
What about the building maintenance improvements? You raised that from 30 to 40 and we spent nothing yet?
Yeah, cause last year we talked about, we budgeted 30 grand to do the epoxy floor work. And then I talked to those guys and they didn't wanna do it in the winter time, cause it's really a nice place to put the trucks. And then we had not budgeted at all for wall cleaning, to clean that building up down the hill here. So that's why I went up with it. If we wanna lower it down, you know, they haven't really asked any more about the epoxy stuff in like a year, so maybe that's not something we need to,
Talk to Mark about it.
yeah. You know, vehicle repairs are always a crapshoot. And, I think everything else is kinda in line.
So where is the training,
Training?
that vector software,
Oh,
At
I
the top, 720,
think that, is
or
it?
718, training.
Yeah, I think it's in
expenses.
719. where
Okay,
we
do
do
they
the
use it,
software.
is it, or are they better off?
As far as I know, that's the only way they have to do it, but
Okay.
I will ask.
Yeah,
Um,
cause if there's a better way, they wanna do it, we're
Yeah.
not committed, we're not
Nope.
committed to paying this. I thought I remember Daryl saying it wasn't working out great because it was hard for some of the guys to just sit in front of the computer and do it, but maybe I'm not remembering it right.
No, you may be right. Okay, anything else on the fire one, or are we okay with it? Okay, roads budget. Theoretically, 278 coming in, 286 in total with the Metro Act and personal property. And then, budget to 200,000, that might be out there for Essex, since that's what we made a motion on tonight. Leaves us with, you know, 86-ish. For 86,476 for a movement to reserve, till we come up with something else.
Do we know we don't know what the county's share is gonna be this year?
I do not know that
Okay.
yet, no. Any thoughts, comments on that?
Sounds good.
Okay, liquor fund, that's the highlight of the night. $770 in revenue sharing, $40 in interest, and we pay it out to, 500 of it to the liquor inspector, and then we do the administration fee and move it into the general fund. Anything on that? And nothing in the vehicle fund budget. There is no money in it,
What's our
You're
plan
all-
for the future for vehicles? Do we know when our next vehicle to replace is gonna be, and,
so,
Do we need to start
it'll
building that
probably be
vehicle
the
fund?
engines, yeah.
ooh, the big ones?
Yeah, it'll be $1 million apiece.
Oh, $1 million apiece
750
from the
apiece anyway,
Dakotas,
yeah.
again, yeah, okay, those are 2002,
Yeah.
so they're 24
25
years.
years old.
Yeah,
Yeah, they're old, and the possibility exists that they could go down anytime. They would still look good,
Always
you know, and keep them clean, that's good, that's
Just
what
that I'm still on
you can do, but,
part-time volunteer fire.
Clean and no
department, so I
miles.
think
yeah, they're gonna have to,
work for 'em.
should happen in the city of Charlotte.
they stay on top of the maintenance, which I know those guys do, they should continue to last for, and yeah, I'm not gonna say it, cause I don't wanna invite karma. Okay?
Yep.
Set the public, move that we set a public hearing for the, budget at the the February meeting,
February 16th.
yes.
Support.
Support, all in favor, any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same? Okay. All right, township cleanup, we kinda just talked about that, but we made a motion that we, have the township cleanup again.
Some townships do it every other year.
I don't think we can.
Why not?
How many people do we get? Tom, did we keep a record?
Oh, yeah,
Oh, yeah, they do
I
a
said
very
we
good job
know.
record
It's
keeping
the
on that.
same,
like between 150, 180 individual, unique households. It's almost 200, it's almost 10%.
and it's the same, the trash amount goes up a little bit each year,
You know, the yardage,
the yardage goes up a little bit.
Everybody saves for it.
Uh-huh.
yeah, they do, it's it's a bit of a self-fulfilling thing.
That year after COVID was a substantial jump. I mean,
Cause we didn't
to
do it,
base it on a 2-year,
Right,
you might be
yeah, that's
looking at.
true, yeah, it was.
cause we didn't have it in 2020.
It's one of those few things that everybody in the township can say, yep, there's my tax dollars at work. At least you get something, something.
Are they talking about us or the day?
I don't know, nobody wants to see me, but that's why I hide in the tire truck. With Nate, soaking wet. Anyway, that's my motion. Do we
What was
have
your
it again?
motion?
To hold the cleanup
support
day
it.
again?
What day is it gonna be? What day did I write on the thing? May 9th.
Yep, the second Saturday, right?
Yep.
You might have to fix my anniversary.
It's your
I
wedding
had a 1 in
anniversary?
365 chance, I'm sorry.
How many years?
I don't know, I don't keep track.
Oh,
Bring her along.
You better at least remember what year you're married.
That's on video.
Yeah, what year were you married?
Scratch that one.
Do you really not know?
That was 81 when we got married, so.
Well,
45,
yeah.
That's great,
congratulations.
yeah.
Okay, so any further discussion?
No.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Pose the same? Okay. Is that taken care of? I make a motion that we create a new bank account, or authorize Katie, I guess, to set up a new bank
So
account to receive our credit card payments from the website.
So you
Now
are,
you can tell why, or whatever you were about to say.
you have to, well, yeah, just, I asked Daniel what the minutes had to say.
Uh-huh.
So it just has to say that we're creating a bank account. You can decide whether it's, savings or checking, doesn't matter. And then who the authorized users are, has to be listed. That's it. That's what the motion has to say.
Is it what you and Jim, the authorized users
No,
are, or
two-
is
us
it you two?
two.
Okay.
Yeah, so what is
That
that,
makes
like-
more sense.
Yeah, what is the, like,
It would be taking hall rental income and zoning permit income from online, it would be dumped into that.
so there's
account.
there'll be no minimum balance ever?
No.
So, like, are people paying are they paying the credit card fees?
That's what I want.
Yes, cause I don't think we can
Because-
legally take less than the full amount.
No, we cannot.
So they have to pay.
We have to put a thing in, a disclaimer that says, like, this is the fee charged once you do
Mhm,
this.
yes, just like with taxes.
Mhm.
Yep. Okay, what is your motion, Alex? Open a
So we
bank
will
account
open a bank account to receive credit card payments
with
from the
Katie and I.
website.
Is that at Charlevoix then?
Yeah,
Yeah, it'd be at Charlotte State Bank.
yeah. And Katie and I are the
That will
authorized
completely
users.
segregate that from everything else for security purposes.
Support.
Richard supports. Any further discussion?
No.
All in favor, say aye.
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 You just,
What?
you just asked, and I'm always like, no. No, you say any further questions or further discussion? No.
Okay.
That's always me. Then I
Oh.
realize I said it, like,
Oh,
I'm just like,
okay.
just keep going.
Gotcha. Figure you'll stop me if we really wanna discuss at 9:15. Poverty exemption resolution. I'm gonna pull up.
This is for the audit coming up
Yes.
for the assessor.
It'll seem
Where's
mess
the
of an
agenda?
inbox here.
Here. I just filled out.
We did the poverty exemption guidelines.
And then Mark, that between the.
Yep, with this
updated one?
He
or is it-
modified a couple of things.
Okay, because
Um,
we have that, like, reference back to the federal poverty
Yeah,
guidelines.
so
that was
his
what's-
recommendation was to remove the multi-year exemption extension language, or revise it to match the current allowances, so he apparently doesn't like looking at the federal numbers.
Okay.
Explicitly reference the STC form 5737, and provide form 4988 affidavits where applicable, clarify the allowable partial exemption percentages, and add language stating Board of Review must apply the adopted written policy exclusively when granting or denying exemptions. Those would align us with the, State Tax Commission expectations, so
Can you print that from there to here?
I don't think I can, so I'll have to do that in a minute. The printer's installed on this computer. So, here's the resolution. I'll offer it. A resolution adopting poverty exemption guidelines pursuant to MCL 211.7U and State Tax Commission bulletins. Whereas the General Property Tax Act, MCL 211.7U, authorizes the Board of Review to grant a poverty exemption in whole or in part to persons who, by reasons of poverty, are unable to contribute to the public charges. And whereas MCL 211.7U requires the Township Board to adopt written income and asset guidelines to be used by the Board of Review in determining eligibility for a poverty exemption. And whereas the Township Board desires to ensure full compliance with MCL 211.7U and applicable State Tax Commission bulletins, now therefore be it resolved that the Banks Township Board hereby adopts the following poverty exemption income and asset guidelines. Section 1, eligibility requirements. To be eligible for a poverty exemption, a claimant must annually satisfy all the following: ownership and occupancy. The claimant must own and occupy the property as their principal residence and affirm such status by filing State Tax Commission Form 5737. Annual filing requirement. The claimant must file an application annually with the Board of Review using State Tax Commission Form 5737. Income documentation. The claimant shall submit federal and state income tax returns for all household members for the immediately preceding or current tax year. If not required to file tax returns, the claimant shall submit State Tax Commission Form 4988 or other affidavit prescribed by the State Tax Commission. Number 4, identification and ownership verification. The claimant shall provide identification and proof of ownership when requested by the assessor or Board of Review. Section 2, the income guidelines. Household income shall not exceed the federal poverty income guidelines as published annually by the United States Department of Health and Human Services. If household income exceeds these guidelines, a poverty exemption shall not be granted. Section 3, asset guidelines. Cash assets. Total household cash assets shall not exceed an amount equal to 2 months of gross household income. Cash assets include, but are not limited to, cash on hand, checking and savings accounts, stocks, bonds, and money market accounts, retirement accounts, insurance cash values, gifts, loans, inheritance, lump sum payments, collectibles, boats, ORVs, RVs, motorcycles, jewelry, and similar assets readily convertible to cash. Fixed assets. Household fixed assets shall not exceed $15,000. Excluded assets. The following are excluded from the asset calculations: applicant's principal residence, one vehicle necessary for transportation, household personal property, assets not accessible to the applicant or household. Section 4, the exemption amounts. If eligibility is established, the Board of Review shall grant an exemption in one of the following amounts: either 100% exemption, 75% exemption, 50% exemption, or 25% exemption. Only percentages approved by the State Tax Commission may be used. Section 5, Board of Review authority. The Board of Review shall grant or deny poverty exemptions solely in accordance with these adopted written guidelines and the requirements of MCL 211.7U. The Board of Review shall not deviate from these standards. Section 6, annual requirement. All poverty exemptions are valid for one tax year only. Claimants must reapply annually to maintain eligibility. Section 7, rescission requirement. A claimant granted a poverty exemption shall notify the local assessing unit within 45 days if ownership or occupancy changes or income or assets change such that eligibility is no longer met. Failure to rescind may result in repayment of taxes with interest as provided by law. Section 8, repeal of prior policies. All prior poverty exemption resolutions or policies inconsistent with this resolution are hereby repealed. Section 9, effective date, this resolution shall take effect immediately upon adoption. This resolution is offered by me, Alex Bushman, and supported by somebody.
Me.
Katie supports, okay? And now we'll have a roll call vote on it. Well, let's have discussion first. Anybody want to discuss it?
Who wrote it?
Bob,
The
who's
assessor.
the assessor,
Oh.
who's gonna be the one talking to the state tax commission on the audit.
We have
If you guys wanna read it over
Yeah,
some
we
more.
have a handful of
that's fine.
exemptions currently in the township.
We do have some?
Oh, yeah.
4 or 5?
Oh, yeah.
So how do our low-income people find out about this?
Thank you. So if you know someone that is struggling and I've talked to people like that call me and I'll be, Katie, I can't pay my taxes, and I, take the temperature of the room and I broach the subject. There is a form that they get from Bob Engelbrecht, and they have to provide, bank statements, W-2s, all that stuff. They have to provide a lot of information.
Mhm.
But you can't have a bunch of stuff. You can't have assets. You can't have $250,000 in retirement, whatever. There's our resolution, which is kind of wordy, but my suggestion is they talked about, have them call the assessor. And again, if you know someone that's really struggling, feel them out.
So you get requests like once or twice a year, whatever, people that, you talk to people
I
personally.
talk to people, yeah, I do, some people, they're having a hard time paying their bills, but they own multiple properties. So, you can't have,
Right,
10 parcels and,
you can't have 2 parcels.
well,
No,
right,
yeah,
right,
one
because
that's
we have
different.
that, or
Yeah.
someone has, I just know they have a lot of assets, so,
So last month, I think it was, you handed out the list of delinquents so far
yes,
this year?
yes, that's not the final forfeiture, yeah.
Right.
And some of them may have been paid by then, that's November,
Right,
actually,
So-
probably a lot of them are.
so would it be wise for us to, if you wanna say, designate you to be able to send, if the people that are delinquent, you have some idea that they may fit this poverty exemption, send them or contact them somehow with some information. To give
Yeah,
those people,
it's
because
touchy,
it's
it's
yeah,
sensitive, it's touchy to
yeah.
say, I think you're in poverty. I have to
I
be
can appreciate
very,
where you would
yeah, I have to be very
sensitive.
careful, how you approach people. You don't wanna hurt their pride, and you don't know their situation, and we have some people that pay late all the time, and that's just how they pay.
Mhm.
And that's just how they do it, cause they think, they don't want the government to get the money or whatever, so,
I just don't want somebody to, at least let them know that there's that option if they are in that situation. If it would be pertinent.
It is on the website.
Yeah.
So we have veterans exemptions, I'm sorry that they qualify, but it's good that we can give them 100% veterans exemption.
Yep.
So, yeah, that's a good point, Mark.
So do you think that would be something we should do, is take that delinquency list and either just, so you don't have to accuse anybody or whatever, send it to all of them, a little link or, a little letter that says you can check this out if you're.
Yeah, maybe, I know some of them, just by looking, I can see they have multiple parcels,
Yeah.
there aren't gonna be many that will qualify. And again,
But,
you're gonna
but then
end
you've
up-
gotta pick and choose, you either gotta
I know.
pick and choose, or else you just send it to all of them, say, you're on this list, so you got the letter.
Yeah, I wouldn't be for that. Katie already said that a lot of people just pay,
Late.
how long how delinquent would you wanna be before you would send that out?
Well, the listing, that's standard, how long is that?
That forfeiture list, or that, it's a list we get every November, but by the actual forfeitures in Banks Township are rare. They're very rare.
Yeah, would there be a point, just before they actually lose their property,
Yeah,
that would
and-
be the appropriate time to maybe contact.
And just knowing some of the people that get really close to that point, I don't think they'll take a call from me. They're not people that I would approach.
No,
I
I
can
don't
think
think
of
it
someone
would,
in particular that I probably
I
would
don't
approach
think
them
we would
without.
want it a call, we
with a
wanted
company.
a letter.
Just send
Just send a
postcard.
letter or a postcard, yeah, across the board.
It would be a very tricky, with some of them, it would be a very tricky situation. But again, I don't want anyone to lose their home. The county doesn't want your home. They do not want your home.
And then, if the dilemma is if they miss it, if they don't know about it, and they miss
I know
it,
what
they
you're
can't go
saying.
back and
Yeah,
undo it, it's gone.
You could ask maybe Bob to just put a couple of, you do it, you put up the tax bill sign up. Maybe there's a thing, check out our website for potential
yeah,
tax
having trouble
exemptions.
paying your bill. Yeah, cause there have been things the county's told me about, like that was during COVID, there were, programs that would help people. So I did talk to a few people about them and they're like, no, we don't qualify.
But if you
So
just
things
put it
like
on the
that.
tax bill to everybody, here are some,
There you go.
on the website, there's some exemptions, go to this
See
link.
if you
and,
qualify.
That
Click,
leaves
check
it
it,
all
cause
on
that's
them,
got the
right?
form they can read.
Mhm.
And they'd be more inclined to look at it themselves and go, oh yeah,
Yeah.
this isn't me, or yeah,
But that means
actually.
you are hitting every single individual in the
That's right.
township and
Yeah. I think
not
that's a
offending
good idea.
anybody.
Yeah, that is a good
Cause you
idea.
never know who would actually qualify.
Would that
And
work?
someone you think might qualify wouldn't, but yeah, so you don't wanna be judging someone that they don't have the ability to pay or whatever.
Okay.
Well, okay, I like that idea.
You can put, so you can put it on the
Yeah,
tax bill?
I can put it on this one tax.
Sweet, thank you. Wonderful. Do you, we got this resolution. Do you guys wanna think it over and vote on it in February? We'll have time, or is,
I'm ready.
are we ready to
I'm
vote?
good.
Okay, all right.
I don't think any of us know any more than Bob. Bob's the
No,
expert.
exactly.
He's got
Um,
decades of.
okay, roll call, Richard,
policy.
Yes.
Marv,
Yes.
Katie,
Yes.
Julie, me, yes, all yeses. Okay. Okay,
You
Um,
have to sign that.
yeah, so, nope.
We all have to
And
sign
then
it.
Julie, did you?
I guess
see
we
what
all
I
signed
sent
it,
you?
so
Reserve
I'll
for the people
get it
who
printed.
have
Yeah.
taxes.
Do that.
Yeah, I got one.
From 2011. I'll send it to you
Yeah.
as well.
Okay,
Which he gave that to Bob too, I thought that was
Perfect,
okay.
yeah, cause he needed that for his all.
maybe I just forward this, do you have this already?
I already have it,
Okay, can you print that out after we're done?
yeah. I'm saying we'll do it right now if you want.
Do we wanna hold off on the email policy resolution for
Yes,
now?
please.
Okay,
I mean, I'm all for it, but it's gonna take me a
Yeah.
while to transition
that's
all my
fine.
accounts over. Big
um,
conversations.
the RFP for mowing services, it's been a long time since we asked around, I think Brian's doing a great job, but, we
Well,
asked,
this
we
is-
asked Dylan to put in a quote every year, we should just ask for
Well, and this too,
There's-
so I talked to Brian, it's also
Uh-huh.
for
here,
here.
Yep.
There's here,
these two lots, right?
there, yeah, and there,
And the fire hall,
yeah,
so you got that built, that empty
Yeah.
lot, this split here,
just the sides,
side of this,
yes, just the sides,
who does the front?
the village,
Oh.
Tex, he does not
Oh.
like anyone touching his lawn.
Got it. Learned a long time ago, not to cross tax.
You want it cut a certain way, you do not touch
Yep.
Tex's, that's his.
So anyway, I would move that we do an RFP for mowing services across the board,
Across the
just
board.
to see what,
Well, we have Brian's,
yeah, we got Brian's,
he said if, I talked to him today.
but he doesn't wanna do this stuff, right?
Yeah, he said he would.
Oh, he would? Oh, okay,
He charges $50, for us, he would charge $50 an hour.
okay,
It's a flat rate, that's what he charges there. He said if we were someone else, it would be closer to 75.
Okay.
So, he would charge by the hour to do this, so
okay.
you can,
We'll put it out there, we'll see what else we get back other than Brian, we're not mowing lawns for a couple months, so I think we're okay there. Alright, that takes me, I guess I moved for it, anybody support that?
what they are.
Richard supports, any discussion?
No.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same, okay. Board review alternate, I got, Hannah Yerk, she's been to a number of our planning commission meetings and a couple of these ones as well, and, she works for the state of Michigan and got approval to do this as an alternate on the board of review and wants to get involved and start learning things, so. I move that, well, that's my appointment, and somebody the motion to
I'll
approve.
make the motion that Hannah is an alternate to the board review.
Support. Julie's got it.
Okay, any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same, alright, and public comment.
No, wait, we have,
Oh,
we
what?
did not talk about this and I need to send this out.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Okay,
that mailed out.
I make
Yeah.
a motion to amend the agenda to add the postcard.
So, I gave it to you guys,
support it?
Where?
Yeah, I support adding the agenda to the agenda.
Okay. Got motion and support to amend the agenda. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Okay, alright, so that's on there.
Where is it?
This-
I gave
this
it to you
one.
last, it looks
Oh.
like this. So, the first page is gonna be one side, name and addresses go up in the right corner. The second page is the,
Language for the.
there you go,
public.
my brain stopped working.
So that, did the attorney prepare this?
Yes.
Perfect, and then we're just gonna make sure it
Yes.
says 6 PM and not 7, so we're not
Yes.
sitting here waiting around
It
for an
says six,
hour.
I did, yeah, it says 6 PM on the other postings. It's-
Okay,
I
so
missed
March
that.
5th, 2026, 6 PM, to the residents and property owners of Banks Township and all other interested persons, so.
What did Frank come up with for a number?
For what?
How many people can be in here?
He didn't tell me yet.
Okay, we're still waiting on that,
Yeah.
so, subject to change the address if necessary, basically? Right? Cause if we have to, we have to use the school,
But how will we know?
I think
Are
we
we
just use the
Going to
school.
use the school?
just do it at the
Just
school
do
to
it,
begin with.
yeah.
Okay, sounds good,
Can the school let you?
You have to
Talk school?
ask.
I don't know yet, but
Cause the March, might be like March Madness basketball game or something.
it is a Wednesday, isn't it?
No, it's a Thursday.
Thursday?
But basketball's over. Basketball's over the end of February. And,
We're not hosting districts?
no, we're not hosting
Okay.
districts.
Yeah, we wouldn't have to worry about renting any kind of equipment for sound or,
Yeah, true,
and that capacity has gotta be a lot bigger than,
Where are you
oh,
talking?
especially when you count
you talking about the
chairs.
gym?
Yeah.
Elementary or?
High school.
High school.
High school.
I think Fife Lake is hosting districts.
Oh. You
Was
drive all the way down
I
there?
think.
Anyway, okay, so let's put the school on here. Subject to Aaron saying it's okay.
Yeah. Well, I still have about 3,000 meetings to sort through, so you can,
Okay.
Yeah, we have, you know, March 6th is.
So this postcard is also gonna cover the cleanup day and everything.
It does, yeah, so, yeah, it doesn't say what we're gonna take other than no household garbage and no hazardous waste, so I kind of, oh, I'm sorry, I take it down below is different, so.
so we said no building materials, people still brought building materials.
Mhm.
Says tires, yeah.
Yeah, so, yeah. Well, that's what we budgeted for, so. Sounds good, let's rock and roll with that for now, until we figure out,
And then,
finish off the
do we
budget.
need to make a motion to research the different location?
I don't,
school?
do we need a motion for that?
I think so.
Probably, that's fine,
Yeah.
okay. I'll move that we research, using the high school gym as a location for greater seating capacity.
Leave yourself open a little bit more in
Maybe
case
I
that
should,
doesn't work.
yeah, that's a good point.
Should research
Research a different location with higher seating capacity,
Yeah.
got it.
Park,
Where else is there besides the school?
you got the elementary.
As long as they can get in the building here, they can be here. I mean, Catherine said if they're down here, they might have a difficult time, they can still come up and they can voice their opinion.
Uh-huh.
It's
That's true.
unfortunate, I mean, she even shared some pictures of people outside the building during a huge public hearing, so you're not,
Yeah.
obviously it's March, but
Yeah. Let's see if this works, if we can get it in the school, we'll probably.
I think the meeting that everyone was turned away from, or, you know, I don't wanna say turned away, that it was just very congested at the front door,
Okay,
and they weren't filling in, I mean, there was a lot of people here, but there were
Yeah, it was
spots
very-
on
very
both
slow-
sides.
Slow moving coming in, and that's what
And the
discouraged
chairs
me.
were too far apart, cause they weren't set up ahead of time, so everybody, when they set up their chairs, sat too far from their neighbors, so there was no room. So, it was,
You can pack them in, probably.
yep.
Did I support that motion?
You did?
Did I?
I did.
Oh,
You
Marv
did, okay, I
sorry.
couldn't remember, thank you.
You
To be
supported
accurate,
something I did.
Marv supported it.
Any discussion? All right, all in favor say aye. Same, okay. Anything else? Yeah. Okay, then I'll open up public comment. Nothing? Alright.
I'm all ears today.
I figured you stayed so you could say something.
Kidding.
All right, I will, because I have to keep a record going. Thank you all for doing this and for listening to our voices of the community.
All right, well then I will close public comment, not hearing anything else, and, I'll motion to adjourn.
Support.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Same, cool, there we go.